Welcome to the Seahawkers podcast live 2023 draft show, guys. It's just me for the moment. Brandon, his little daughter's music teacher decided that she didn't want to check with the NFL schedule when scheduling his daughter's concert today. So he'll be with us a little later. We'll also be joined by the protector, Phil, which will be cool. Clinton, he doesn't even have a school teacher to blame. He actually scheduled a big work event for himself months and months ago, not realizing, what it was and what time the draft was going to be. So it's just me for the moment. And I think we got Phil right here. Let's see if I can add him in here. Again, I'm on the calls here, and this is going to be kind of an adventure. So stick with me, guys. Let's see if I can hear. Boom! Phil, you made it.
Hey, Adam.
Hey, man.
Got me?
Yeah, I got you. We got all the flockers here. We're live, buddy. We're going.
The flockers are in. All right.
Yeah.
Awesome. Who all's in?
Oh, shoot. We got Randy. We got Sojin. We got Amy. We got Mark Dolphin. We got Sam Gelber. Michael Waters. Man, we got a little bit of everything.
Great. Yeah. Just trying to figure out how to use my wife's MacBook here. And then when I got in, it said I had to go to Chrome. So I had to install Chrome.
Really?
But the sound is okay so far, huh?
Oh, it sounds great, bud. And that's interesting that it said that you had to do Chrome, because on my tablet that I do all this from, it only allows me to do it out of Safari. It will not let me do it out of Chrome. So
she's only ever used Safari. So this is new, switching to the old Chromer. But
Yep.
Good.
Yep. Oh, we got Carly in too.
Yeah.
I'm excited too, man. I'm fired up, Carly.
So I can only see what people say when you pop it on the screen there. I think that's how this goes.
Yeah, it is. And I can kind of pop them up here just as we go. So yeah. How many future Hall of Famers tonight, Phil? How many you got?
Hall of Famers. Speaking of which, I got my Largent jersey. I hope we get our next Hall of Fame playmaker, maybe receiver, maybe, Adam, you were talking about different quarterbacks, and what's the one that you were having me take a look at? Do you remember the name of the one that you're kind of interested in?
It was a Hendon Hooker.
Yeah, I had a little peek at Mr. Hooker. I was pretty impressed. He's
got a peek at the Hooker.
Yeah, not quite how you're saying it, possibly.
Oh, okay.
but Hendon Hooker was kind of impressive. I wouldn't be mad if we pulled him off in the second half of this first round. After looking at him, even though he's 25, he's got a lot of tools. I could be stoked about us landing him after watching the way, and he's also a leader, it seems like, from everything that I've heard. I think all these quarterbacks have that, but I was thinking it was just a system guy, but I think get him in here, sitting behind Geno a year or two, and we might have another quarterback there.
Yeah, it would be cool. I think if you could pick up Hendon Hooker, I mean, shoot, even if it was as high as 20, I think you'd be doing okay. Now, I don't hope that they do that, but he's a guy that does play on rhythm. He can move pretty well. He's very calm in the pocket.
Yeah.
Goes through his reads well. And even though that offense is so weird, he still managed to, get through all those reads and everything. So pretty cool. I think he's interesting.
A lot of the throws were wide open. That's what I saw. I think they do him a disservice with how they show his highlights, but when you actually go down and break down all his plays, like his throwaways and other things, he's smarter than I expected. I mean, he's more ready than I expected. It wasn't just first read, hit the wide open dude. He was throwing a lot of nice different passes, and like you said, he was actually looking through some progressions, making some good choices. So, yeah, you think the end of the first is too early for him?
Oh, he may go in the first. It'll be interesting to see if that's what happens. I could see him ending up with the Texans at 12 if, say, they go defense at 2. That could make some sense depending on who's still on the board. I mean, shoot, Richardson could still be on the board then when the Hawks pass on him. So looking forward to that moment. Hopefully, fingers crossed. But Aaron, thank you so much for the super chat. $9.99, man. Freaking fired up with you, bud.
We
appreciate
you
a ton.
Yeah. When's Brandon gonna pop in here with us? Any idea, Adam?
He's got about an hour or so at the concert, I think. So I'm hoping he can be here by the time we get to 5. We'll see, but otherwise we'll just have to settle for his reaction after the fact. But
that's okay. What concert is he at?
It's one of his daughter's concerts.
Yeah. We all know how that goes. I get plenty of those. I got orchestra boys and
Boy, you got a lot
soccer
going on there.
boys. I got a couple girls that do a variety of ballet, and one girl that's into soccer. So yeah, we get quite a bit going here. Quite a bit
Yeah, for
going.
sure. Charlie, man, 2 a.m. He is out there in Sweden getting it
Nice,
done.
Charlie.
That's commitment.
He's in. I would be too, though. I worked a lot of things around to open up the schedule for tonight. Actually got up super early to get a bunch of things done. I mean, super early for me is like 4, but still, it was
That's super freaking early. Yes,
earlier than hitting it as normal to make sure I could get it all settled down for now. Because I mean, we've been looking forward to this for months.
Yeah, it does feel like Christmas a little bit, right?
Yeah, like it's fine. Like Christmas when you're 10 years old. Christmas is how I feel.
Oh, for sure, for sure. Oh man, is it Chaz or Chaz? Do you think? I'm gonna go with Chaz. Man, this could get weird. This is gonna be an interesting draft. You hear a lot of people saying that things are gonna be a little different and that there's not a lot of consensus on a lot of these picks, and the misinformation is flowing around a ton this year. So it's gonna be really, really neat to see. I'm pretty sure one's gonna be a little anticlimactic here, but that's okay.
Yeah. I think after one, anything can happen. I mean, that is the only non-mystery, I think, is one.
Yeah, that's pretty much it, right?
Brandon needs to not look at what we pick and find out live on air if he's late to our number 5. And don't forget, Carly, Brandon has the unique spelling.
That's yeah, that's true. Just because he spells it screwed up doesn't mean he's on the hook or Carly's on the hook.
No, Carly spelled it right. Well, but his mom's a nice lady, so we don't want to get after her too much.
Oh, Glenda's the best. Yeah, she's fabulous for sure. Man, I'm with Randy though. I am sick and tired of mocks. I'm ready to move on. I'm excited at that.
Yeah, people in the Discord today were saying we needed to hook you into some kind of mock drafting just because you hate it so much. They think that would add to the fun next year.
Yeah, probably. Man, I also too. Amy, why even take the full time here? Like, this is just ridiculous. Like, what are we talking about here? We all know what you're doing. Nobody's calling. Like, this is already in the books, right?
What's with the guy up next to Goodell with the Chiefs hat on? What's his job?
Isn't that dude from one of the CBS sitcoms or something like that? I can't remember the name of the show.
Why?
Because they're in Kansas City, right, for the draft here.
Okay, now I get it. I'm like, we're showing so many Chiefs fans, Chiefs hat. I'm like, isn't this supposed to be Carolina's moment? Wouldn't you be kind of bummed if you're Carolina right now? I mean,
to have a Chiefs guy up there.
Chiefs.
Oh
yeah.
I don't know. I mean,
it is KC's moment. I mean, I lived in Springfield for a while. They are true, no doubt about real fans out there.
Oh, big time. Yeah, they are definitely hardcore fans. My dad's actually a Chiefs fan. We still talk though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I grew up very much not a Chiefs fan because, AFC West was the rival for my childhood. But I have a good friend that actually moved to Portland that's just a diehard. He still flies out with his season tickets.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
That's pretty diehard, I would say, right?
That is for sure. Dude, JR, just let your kid, go out and buy the PS5 on his own and, just head down there. Just grab a microphone. We'll throw you on here, bud.
What kind of deal is that? You're in KC. You're not. Look at all these people there. We need to see more Seahawk representation.
Well, yeah. How many people want to leave the PNW at this time of year when it's just starting to get nice and it's pretty and all that to go to the Midwest where it's just humid? No, thanks. I'm good.
Talking to JR on the screen there, Adam. Yeah. So we have to look at them with their Lombardi.
Yep. Patty Mahomes did it again. Not surprised. Yeah.
All this happiness I had about the draft, and then we have to deal with this right now.
I didn't realize we had to have a Super Bowl parade.
I feel like I'm opening a poop present. The first present was the poop.
Oh man, just not us having the Lombardi feels like a poop present. That's for sure. Yeah.
I did love it when they came out here to Spokane. I got to take my little boy. I mean, they were tiny at the time, and they got to touch the Lombardi when we won it. That was kind of fun.
That's cool.
Meet a few players. That was.
I stood next to it while I was in a glass case, and nobody trusted me. That's for sure.
Yeah, who was it that let him touch it? It was actually our rookie that didn't even win. He wasn't even part of the team, but they brought him out. Our rookie lineman, who
Is it
was
defensive or offensive?
no, he was our center for a while, and he was drafted as
Was
a
it
kind of
Justin Britt?
he played with Justin Britt, yeah. And then they got a picture with the trophy and Justin Britt because it was two little cute boys
Nice.
wearing Seahawk outfits. So, yep, I probably remember it better than they do.
Yeah. Oh, probably. I mean, Justin Britt's down in Houston still, right? Is he still playing?
Well, he was a top free agent at center, but yeah, did they Houston pick him back up? I'm trying to remember.
I don't know if he's still going or not. He was down there for a minute.
I also thought Cleveland might have got him. How about we look? What's going on there? We get to deal with Kelsey.
All right. I'm going to try to be sure to get a lot of your guys' comments up there. Because I'm only about, I don't know, 3/8 as talented as Brandon. Me reading the comments and then paying attention to Phil and the other screen and trying to come up with cohesive stuff here is might be a little past my pay grade. So if I'm missing you, I'm trying to keep up, man, and we'll keep it all together here.
They're showing the trade up there on the screen, and you were right. He's Justin's back with Houston. Now we got to wait 9 minutes for Carolina to pick who everybody knows they're going to pick.
Oh yeah, let's build the suspense here for sure.
Yeah, Mahomes can't avoid sounding like Kermit. He's like Kermit when you turn up the bass a little bit. He can't.
Oh, Kermit the Frog here. I'm Patrick Mahomes. I just won the Super Bowl.
Okay, Adam, you are better at Kermit than Mahomes. I'll give you that.
All right, so it's officially happening. We've got old man Kuiper, who still feels like he's an expert, even though the world has passed him by in the draft expertise range about, I don't know, a decade ago. So that's fun.
Yeah.
Are you on ESPN or NFL?
Though. We got to give him some cred. Like he's a big part of why this is what it is today, wouldn't you say? Or was he just right man, right place, right time?
Oh, yeah. That's that. Yeah, probably right place, right time.
Adam needs to do better with multitasking. Well, he put it on the screen, Hector. So give him some kudos for putting your slam on the screen.
I'll take crap from Hector all day, man. Hector's the best. Like that's fine. I've earned it. I can do better for sure. If I tell a lot of people and things to do better, I think you know, I should be able to take the pain. So
yeah. And the fact that you're doing, Adam, already means you're on the path to doing better, because you can't do better until you do. So
that's an excellent point.
You're giving it a shot. They're putting you in. Brandon's hurt, or he's out. Russell was out, and Gino came in, did his thing. So
yeah, I'm basically Gino against the Rams. I'm completing a few exciting passes here, but I may fumble or throw a pick and lose the game anyway. So
yeah, but you start hitting some over the middle, then we'll notice a few things taking off. I enjoyed your latest podcast. I was listening to that on my mountain bike ride. Finally,
thanks, man.
They're free of snow. I can ride. Hallelujah.
Yeah,
but
how nice is that, right?
Yeah, that was a good.
Yeah, we took the dog out for a hike today, and it wasn't knee deep snow. It was actually sunny and almost 50 degrees. It felt great for a change, man. Holy cow!
It was beautiful. It's going to get hot this weekend. I don't know about there in Montana, but we're getting 80s.
Yeah, we're supposed to get up into the 60s, which is a big, a big change for us here. But
good.
I don't know. Do you think picking Bryce Young is actually going to be a big change for the Panthers? Like, does this solve their quarterback woes? I mean, how do you feel about Bryce Young? Have you looked at him at all?
That's a good question. I think he's accurate. His own fans, I was listening to that podcast that Brandon had. One of his own fans kind of describes him as another Russell Wilson, like the same positives and negatives as Russell Wilson. He does throw a pretty deep ball.
No, he doesn't.
He can move around a little bit and make some good throws, but he never does anything over the middle. I don't think his deep ball, from what I've seen, is anything like Russ's, but he can launch it down the field.
No, he can't.
You don't think so?
No, he's got a noodle arm, dude. That guy, if it's past 15 yards, it's no bueno. Like
really? That's how you take it, huh?
Yeah, he can't throw it out of his own shadow, man. I don't get it. And arm strength isn't everything to me either. Yeah. And that's not the thing. He can't use the middle of the field very well, just like you said, a la Russ.
Yeah.
All his throws are bubbles and slants. And then they show this off script stuff, right?
Yeah.
That's cool. But you have to be really special to live and die by that, or to live instead of die by that. And he's maybe 3/4 as fast as Russ.
Well, he's definitely not as big and strong as Russ.
No, and he's not as twitchy. I don't get it. I personally don't get it with Bryce Young. I think he's a low tier starter, high level backup. That's my guess for him.
Whoa. He needs to pay Russ, though, because if it wasn't for what Russ has done the last 10 years, he would not be getting drafted here. There is no chance in the world.
Yeah, no, that's very true. Yep. He paved the way for Kyler. He's paved the way for Baker and now Bryce Young. And
Bryce Young does look a little more like Russ on making things happen when the play breaks down than
yes.
Yeah. But he's definitely not as quick as Kyler. He doesn't have the speed, the instant speed that Kyler.
Well, the thing is if you have a major deficiency like height, you have to have another ability that is off the chart.
Yeah.
Right. And I don't see what that is with Bryce Young. Like, I don't know. Is it leadership? And that's fine, but
his clock, he's got a better clock, I think, than Russ.
Maybe. Yeah, maybe. Yeah. I can't believe that that's what they're doing, man. I mean, we'll see. Maybe Charlie's right here. Maybe they are flipping a coin in the draft war room right now.
I don't get it. Like, if they should already have told whoever who they're taking. Like, this is really dumb. What are they doing? Look at this room. Are you on NFL or are you on ESPN?
I'm on ESPN.
Yeah. That's what I've been watching. And they're showing the Carolina draft room. They're all clapping and looking. I don't get it. Like, are they required to use all this time?
Maybe there's a little bit of that for timing things out commercial wise for TV and all that. But yeah, I don't know. It'll be interesting to see if they take it all the way down to 0. I don't know why. I mean, the other option is that they're waiting for a call for like maybe to trade out, but they traded all the way up. It's like, why would you trade out?
The pick is in. The pick is in.
Woo!
Yeah, I did like about Bryce Young to watch him is the lack of negative plays, but I don't.
Okay.
But I'm afraid he's going to get snapped.
I don't worry about the size so much. I mean, with the way the NFL is officiated these days, I mean, the big problem with Tua is that he can't like keep his head off the turf when he falls. Kyler tore his ACL. I mean, that can happen to any dude. I don't care how big or small you are. Russ has been pretty healthy. So the size part isn't what gets me with Bryce Young. It's that when you watch his tape, it's a lot of what I call zero throws. Just bubble, slant, screen, bubble, slant, screen, 5-yard out. Those are all just a zero. They're not good. They're not bad. They're just
kind of a point guard.
That's what a high school quarterback can do that. Like that's the part that bothers me.
Really? You think a high school quarterback is sharp and smart enough to play the way he plays?
Well, I'm not saying he can do a high school quarterback can do all of the unscripted stuff, but a high school quarterback should be able to come into a professional or a high class college system with that protection and take snap, one step throw. Like you should be able to do that. Like that. It's just basic stuff. That's why I grade him those throws as a 0. Like I just don't care. Now, if you miss them, I ding you pretty good.
Yeah.
But
there's players that aren't always good at those and diagnosing things well and making sure they get in and out of the right plays. But yeah, there's a chance that he's a nothing burger in this league. There's no doubt about it.
I mean, I think you always have to compare. This is the thing that we get kind of screwed up on in these drafts, I think, especially with quarterbacks is, he's the next greatest thing. Okay, well, how does he compare with the guys that are there right now? Is he really one of the best 32 human beings in the entire world to play quarterback? Is he?
Maybe.
I mean, I don't know. I think that there's a lot to be desired there. And he sounds like a great kid. This is his moment. I hope it goes great for him. And, nothing but love for the guy. But, yeah, just as far as my preference at quarterback, he wouldn't be my cup of tea.
I'll take his running back.
Yeah? Who did they have at running back there at Alabama?
Is Jamari He's a really good pass catcher. They think he'd be an ideal playmaker on third down. Can also be a backup running back. I'm lost my. Let's see here. Let's get his names. What a shocker! What a shocker! Good call. Yeah, I mean, there has to be a reason that he jumped up like that. I think a lot of it was
Alabama.
Yeah. Well, I mean, there has
honestly, I think if you had taken Gardner Minshew from Washington State when he was playing there, put him on this Alabama team, he does the exact same stuff as Bryce Young, and they're talking about him as a first pick. It's just to me, it's just all hype.
So Jamari Gibbs, he's a little bit smaller than the guy we usually take. He was the guy that was getting five. He's 5'9", 199. He has some rare traits: make defenders whiff in tight spaces, run away from defenders, not overpowering, the balance to absorb contact, reliable pass catcher. And that's what I liked. Whenever I saw he was catching passes just so smoothly. The thing about Bijan is he has both. Like, he has that, but he also has the power to push through. And so I can see why you're hoping that we get him today.
I mean, if we do, that's great. If we don't, that's fine. I wouldn't be mad about it because I do really like his game. And a lot of people say that he's possibly the third best player in this draft, maybe even higher, depending on who you talk to.
Yeah.
Oh no, is Phil cutting out on everybody else? Because Carly's having that. He's been good with me.
Am I cutting out?
Nope. No, everybody else is starting to say Jacob's coming in because he's always got our back.
I'm not cutting out, or am I cutting out?
Oh, nope. Carly's blaming her TV now.
That's good.
But now it gets interesting, right? Pick 2 here with the Texans. All the misinformation.
This is very interesting. There's a good chance they're going to take Will Anderson from what I've been hearing.
No.
I kind of hope they take Jalen Carter. Are you fine, Adam? I can't hear Adam.
Sorry, I had to mute it for a second. I had to change my setup so I could sit in a more comfortable chair rather than my stool that I normally do. And to do that, I had to move my tablet and hook it to the door that opens in and out of the hobo shack here. Brittany was just about ready to come in and like yank my tablet to the ground. So.
Oh yeah, I could see that. I put one of the dogs out because I was afraid of what she might do. I'm in a different situation than I usually am for podcasting myself because I wanted to be able to watch the TV.
Yeah. So did you hear anything of Mike Florio's justification as to why D'Amico Ryans wouldn't want to take a QB at this point?
Well, there's a chance they could get one later, right? Maybe they
yeah. Well, his big thing was he came from the Niners. He just saw that they had a great team, could have gone to the Super Bowl, all that stuff, right? And he's like, that's the lesson that he learned from that. And I mean, could the lesson they learned from that is like get a dude that you can actually depend on rather than cycling through quarterbacks that holds back a great team? I mean, that seems to be that could also be a lesson to be learned there. That would lead me to believe that they're going to take the quarterback.
There's a couple ways that it goes when you do the quarterback. Like, you want to time it right if you're trying to get one on a rookie contract when your team's ready. The problem is, let's say you try to build your whole team, you get them on your rookie contract. Let's say you get Will Anderson, Jalen Carter, whichever one. You're building this whole unit, and now you get a rookie quarterback. Well, now he's not ready to play. And he comes in and he's got to learn for a couple years. I mean, you even see the top players when they come in. I mean, the Jags, they brought in Thor, took him a couple years to get going. If the Titans wait till everybody's ready, you bring in a rookie. Most of them don't come in like Russ and are just sharp veteran type dudes right off the bat and ready to move the team forward. Now, if you can find a guy, that's a beautiful thing, and you can build a good team. The other thing is, if you're not ready, you bring in a rookie and you ruin his career in the first couple of years. So trying to figure out the answer to that, I think, is a tricky question, wouldn't you say, Adam? Sometimes
it's a delicate balance. There's no doubt about that, right? We'll see what the Texans do here. Like, this could be, they choose defender here. That starts to screw up our draft just a tiny bit, right? Like, just enough it starts the pucker, going here a little bit, but the pick is in. So
I'm worried they're going to take Anderson, then I'm going to be sad, but at least I can move past my hopes of getting Will Anderson right away early in the night. and just think about some other things.
There you go. There you go. Yeah, it's exciting, and it's funny. Everybody's so impatient. They're like, just get the picks in, because we all want to get to 5 so badly after months of waiting.
I'm okay. If they don't take Anderson, we're looking at a really good shot of getting it. I'm kind of hoping they take Carter so that that whole wonderment is off the table and we don't have to sit and wait for a couple years to see if he's going to turn out or not.
Well, I think on the field he'll turn out really good really quick. Carter. Now Richardson, yeah, that would be a 3-4 year situation. Oh, yeah. Here we go.
Stroud.
There it is.
They were teasing everybody. It's back to what everybody said for months.
Yep. Yep.
They just leaked some stuff to throw people off, didn't they? Or to see if
they sure did.
Or if they could see someone to come up and give them some picks and then they'd take Stroud. I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah. I said from the get-go, I was like, you don't take Stroud there. You're screwing up, man. I love his game. He is a dude that I keep comparing to Warren Moon, because a big, tall, strong quarterback that throws a really tight, accurate spiral. I love the way that he throws the ball. Warren Moon wasn't known to be super mobile either, but could move. And I kind of feel like that's how CJ Stroud is too.
You look so emotional right now.
Me or Stroud?
Yeah. Oh yeah. You love him. I could see that. If it wasn't for this one score that came out, there'd be no doubt this was happening, I think. If it wasn't for the S2.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Yeah, it turns out the Texans weren't worried about the 18 on the S2, right?
Yeah. Now, if the Texans are smart, Adam, what I would do on their next one is take Jackson, Smith, and Jigba, and then you do exactly what Cincinnati does, where you get the star quarterback and the star receiver, and you just put them together, and they've already got the chemistry. Now, I want Jackson Smith and Jigba, but they could have a chance to grab him right around when is their next pick? Isn't it like 11 or something?
I think it's 12.
12.
I don't know. I'm not going to have the order up in front of me, and I've already got too many things going on, man. I can't do anymore. So
I'm going to pull it up here and see. I think it's 11 or 12. Maybe someone out there can tell us.
Yeah. What are the little flockers will hear?
I was right. It's 11. No, it's 12. You're right.
Okay.
Tennessee's at 11.
Oh, okay.
Teams got the real S2 score. Oh, okay.
Yeah. I mean, Sochi could be right there, because they kept saying, that stuff, believe as much or as little as you'd like, right?
Yeah.
So how does Arizona botch this? What's your favorite theory to see Arizona botch the number 3 pick of the draft?
I hope they take Tyree Wilson.
Really? You're not into Wilson?
But I think actually I'm really happy if they take one of the tackles. Sounds like they might be into Paris. So
boy, that's not a terrible idea for them, considering, they need to protect Kyler a little bit better.
That's what Kyler wants. He wants a left tackle. So with that being out there, there's Paris Johnson. Speaking of Ohio State, he's right there. Number 77, I think, just got cooked. But he's supposed to be good. That play wasn't good for him. Here he goes. Nice. Oh yeah, looking good in that one.
I like 79, DeJuan Jones.
Oh yeah. You like Dwan. Now he's expected to go a little later in the
that's
day.
Great.
I think if he's a right tackle, he doesn't have the move that Paris does.
Oh, that's fine. I'd move him into guard.
Yeah.
He's a monster.
He's big. I'm down with that plan actually myself.
Yeah.
I think
Carly, no, the Rams and Niners are not picking in this round, because the Rams mortgaged the next 15 years of their future to win a Super Bowl, and the Niners made that trade for Christian McCaffrey.
And the Donkeys are not picking in this round.
That's true. Yeah. I was going to try to get a hold of Bronco Jared today and see if he'd come on for pick 5 and talk about the gift that keeps on giving here with the Russell Wilson trade. Oh shoot. I wrote down the list of the players that have been acquired via the Russell Wilson trade thus far in the house. So I should have brought that in here, because I think we're up to 7 players so far.
We can take a look at it here in a little bit. Just say, Bronco fans, how's your draft night? You enjoying your draft night?
Mm-hmm. Broncos country, first round. Let's ride.
Yeah. we know what that's like. In the D. Eskridge draft, we had to not get to enjoy anything. That happens here and there.
It does.
After Percy Harvin, we had to wait and get the running back, Christine Michael, second round. That was our first pick.
Oh God, I remember that the whirling dervish, the Christine Michael, the spin move.
Is it a trade? Someone,
I don't know. Scoot was thinking that
they won it. They really want to trade. They would love it. But that's actually not good for our deal, I don't think, to give them more picks. But
it would be what, like Tennessee or maybe the Raiders to get a quarterback if one of them has fallen in love with Levis and or Richardson.
That's because Indianapolis is like way into Levis from everything I hear. So if you want to jump up and take him, this is your shot. Now, some say Indianapolis might just to move up one, might give them a little something to make sure they can protect and get their quarterback they want.
Maybe that's the call that the new GM is taking right there. He's playing the two calls against each other.
I would like it if the Cardinals don't get to be traded with, but except that it keeps the quarterbacks going so that we don't get one. That's kind of good for our deal. That those of us that are going no quarterback at pick 5.
Yeah, it just depends on what side of that fence you're on, and it seems like that has gotten to be a bigger and bigger issue as we led up to the draft. You know, the more people supporting taking a quarterback, the more people kind of against it, and just kind of
people are digging in too.
Like, big time. Yeah, I feel like I have
almost an unreasonable argument level, like where they're way up there tall on the picket fence, and if they fall, something's going to get gouged. It's going to be painful for them.
Right. Yeah. That's why I'm a little nervous for 5. Like I kind of stuck my neck out there quite a ways here about what would happen here because
they traded.
Oh boy. Who'd they trade with?
The Texans. You nailed it.
Oh, to the Texans. So they must be coming up for Anderson or Wilson or Carter.
Yeah. I wonder. That's a little scary for me.
Well, if they got their quarterback right, and you've got D'Amico Ryan's the new head coach, defensive.
I did not want them to trade in. I did not want them to trade in because they're going to take one of our guys almost assuredly, unless they're taking Paris, so they can get the tackle. They can get the left tackle for their quarterback. I would be down with that.
That'd be interesting
because they're low on left tackle, right?
Yeah. Well, I will say when the first article came out about the Richardson thing, they said the Seahawks would trade up to 3 with the Cardinals, book it, and
I guess not.
I said that ain't happening.
Hallelujah that didn't happen.
Yeah.
So they need a guard, an end, a receiver, and a cornerback, according to ESPN.com. So they are not in a need of an O tackle. So that's a sad thing.
Oh, right, because they have Tunsil there.
They're going to take Anderson, probably.
Yeah, maybe. It depends on what flavor that you like out of these top defenders, right? I mean,
they do need a corner. Yeah, Witherspoon.
Yeah. Man, Witherspoon's a baller, dude. I enjoy his tape so much, and just the idea of the way that he hits. I mean, he would be a fantastic Seahawk, and I don't know how he fits in this draft, and if we even have the, if we have the opportunity to draft him, but we'll see.
He could bring that mentality. I'd be a little sad because I kind of like our defensive backs compared to other areas, but I wouldn't be sad to have 2 stud corners for the next 3 or 4 years on contract.
Man, that would be pretty sweet, right? I mean, a couple premium positions locked up on the cheap. Like,
I'm guessing something to be Will Anderson, Adam. I'm going to have to say it's probably Will Anderson, and I'm going to be sad.
Well, Josh DeHuman, our definite draft expert among the flockers, he says it's Anderson's. Raven asked, what did the Texans give up? I'm not sure. I can't have the volume on, really. Maybe I should turn on the closed captioning. That's the thing here. Look at us learn on the fly.
It's Anderson. Oh!
Yeah, that one bums you out.
I was really, really hoping to have him on our team. I'll pop over Twitter and see if I can find out if anybody can see what happened or what that trade is. Usually Corbin puts it out there. Man, Stroud and Anderson back to back. They are getting better in a hurry.
They're at least giving it a go, right?
Okay. They traded they got the 3 and the 105 for the Texans, number 12, 33, first next year and third next year.
Wow.
So they moved up from 12 to 3 to get a 4th or the end of the 3rd, but they gave up their 2nd this year and their 1st next year and their 3rd next year. Wow. That's a lot.
That's a lot. But they did move up a lot, right? I mean, from 12 to 3.
Move. That's the kind of thing that we could get if we dropped to like 15, 16, just to give you a little feel.
Shoot, that's true. Now,
Especially now that quarterbacks are still there.
Okay, so yeah, we have Levis, Richardson, Hooker. Those are your three big quarterbacks still on the board. Obviously, one of those is going to the Colts, or at least I would assume.
Yeah, they're taking Levis, but maybe
maybe
they're playing with everybody and they wanted Richardson all along or Hooker. But
yeah, I mean,
the player order has not surprised me one bit, Adam. I mean, I would have give me a month ago, I'd have said this would be the player order. It's just that the trade made it different. But this is exactly how things should have gone off the board, I would say. Except for maybe you can swap, depending on how you want to put the first two quarterbacks. You obviously would have swapped them.
Yes.
But
I would have put Hooker too.
Okay. You actually like Hooker better than Bryce.
Yes.
I don't know if I go that far.
That's just me personally.
Yeah, I don't know if I go that far. That would have been shocking, I think, tonight.
I don't know, man. But I don't know. I don't think that would have ever happened in this draft with the way that the GMs are and all that, and the ACL injury and all that. But yeah, it'll be interesting. So the Colts on the clock. You think it's going to be Levis?
Yeah. Who I'll be glad to see go.
I think it's going to be Richardson.
Oh, really? How come?
I do. I just think that Jim Irsay is the type of guy who likes to make big splashes, and Richardson is the bigger splash. And although I like Levis in between the hashes and, about 20 yards in, that sort of stuff, I think he can be a Garoppolo kind of quarterback. He just doesn't have great touch way downfield. Like his deep balls.
He's
just
got a bazooka.
I know, but then watch his deep balls and they flutter and fade. Like
he's like rookie Elway without the accuracy.
Or the wheels.
Oh, he's got decent wheels too for his size.
Not Elway wheels.
Oh, you don't think so? I think he's similar.
Okay. I think that's not an unfair comp.
I think he has, as far as the strength, the speed, the power, the Elway stuff, but not the accuracy. No. Elway was accurate. He just knocked his players over at 10 yards. That was his problem. The ball would bounce out all the time.
Yeah, true fact.
Wow.
Oh boy. So that leaves your choice of defenders here as, either Wilson or Murphy or Carter.
Yeah.
Witherspoon. Depending on the flavor that you like, because there's no way the Colts are going. Okay, the pick is in. I was going to say, how long do they need to take to be like, oh, okay, the quarterback we thought was going to be there is there. Like
Levis or Anderson, Richardson, but I'm pretty sure it is going to be Levis. If it is, then you get to be nervous because there's a big chance we'll get Richardson.
A big chance? I'm not saying there's not a chance.
Rob Staten is pretty sure that if Will Anderson is gone and Richardson is there, that we're taking Richardson. And he's talked to quite a few people with some ears close to the Hawks.
Okay. Well, that's something to keep in mind here. Yep. We are on the clock. And no, Hector Clinton will be joining at some point. He's going to try to check in for a few minutes. I sent him the link to join up. So awesome. We'll see when it's going to be here. Hopefully it's after pick 5.
So Rob Staten, he will have to come on and admit he is wrong, and he's written this, if Anderson is gone and we don't take Richardson.
Yeah, I'm not sure that he's going to come back on the show anytime soon.
Not necessarily on the show. On his blog, he is going to write up. He is going to admit his error. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
No, I would love to have him back on. Is there a reason he's not coming back on?
I said something inadvertent that apparently hurt his feelings a bit. And I'm still sorry about it. It wasn't even a shot at him, and he took it that way, but that's okay. That's fine.
That's too bad.
My big mouth gets us in trouble every now and then.
Okay. I didn't know that. That's okay. I was just talking about on his blog, I read that he was going to, because he's been pretty dead set. If we can't get Anderson, he's expecting we will take Richardson.
Dude, big shout out to JR. $5 for pick 5, man. Appreciate that a ton, man.
That's helping out the retired mill worker there. That's good.
Yeah, exactly. Well, semi-retired. I'm still doing a little bit here and there, but this is why I'm able to do this. I'm actually not on the road for a change. It's fantastic.
It's awesome. Yeah, and we get good sound. You're not in the hotel somewhere. Okay, here we go. Levis time, right? Now,
I don't know. Somebody in the chat said that Richardson was giving hugs backstage there.
It might be Richardson. Then you'd be right, and then they did. You got it, Adam. It's Richardson. Okay.
Wow.
Now
I'm almost a little disappointed because now I can't say that I was right per se. And the people that thought the other way, they can't say they're right either. Like there's no resolution. But
yeah, that's going to be tough for him coming into a team like that. But he already has a good run game. Good.
Oh, he's not. They're going Minshew for a year, man.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah, because he should not be starting right away.
I wouldn't think so, unless you just go all in on read option stuff and you do that with Taylor and you really run the ball a lot, a la Cam. I don't know.
He's a fun guy. I'd bring him in for some packages.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, and they will, kind of like they did with Trey Lance early on, right?
Yeah.
Charlie with an interesting point. Trade won't work now. And maybe that's true, right? Like now that Richardson's gone, that seemed like to be the catnip for a lot of teams, especially after his combine performance and all that. So I don't know. Maybe the Seahawks won't trade. I just have a hard time believing they're going to trade down at all from 5.
Well, somebody
they just haven't done it in their past.
Somebody might love Levis. He's got
That's
the traits, the cannon arm, the size, and he tests well on the processing scores. He just had a bad year last year. So
true. Okay. So all right, Phil, you got. As far as the D-line guys go, you got
Carter,
Tyree Wilson and Carter left on the board.
Yeah.
Or trade down. What would you prefer of those 3 options?
I would prefer trade down, but I won't be mad if we take Witherspoon, but I don't expect it because the Seahawks never draft corners high. I mean, they feel like that's their ace in the hole as they've got the ultimate coaching for corners. That's the reason I'd be shocked.
So at first I was like, well, choose if they pick a corner that high, right? Then they're guaranteed success almost with their track record and everything. And then I ended up talking myself back out of it with what you just said. They're great at picking guys up late and developing them and have them be very effective starters, if not all pros. So
can I put it this way, Adam? There are no guys on the ESPN, like the ranking of the next 7 players. There are no guys on those next 7 players that I want more than the guys they have listed on the next 7 to 10 players.
Interesting.
Unless John loves Carter. Like if they met him and they're like, this guy likes football, all the other stuff's garbage, then I want Carter. Because they've had the interviews that we haven't had. I don't know what that's like. So then I would love to have him. But if they're not down on his personality and his character, I don't want any of these next 7 guys more than the following 7. I would love a trade down. It'd be sweet and tasty dessert for me.
Yeah, you got to trust Pete and John on number 1, their personality evaluations and that sort of thing. And it sounds like they've focused in on that even a bit more from last year and in this year. So it'll be interesting to see. This will be a litmus test of how they felt about Carter.
Yeah.
Now, if they pick him, I'll be stoked. No doubt about it.
Yeah. No, I'll be great. This is the guy then. That's great if they pick him. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because then I'll have confidence that was the one. But if they don't, I'm really hoping for a trade down. I've already said that. Yeah.
But kind of the rest of the guys, though, that are available, I mean, depending on who you ask, it's all over the map. Yeah. Like there's just not the regular consensus of picks or value for the remaining prospects here, kind of going forward. So it will be interesting. If they can trade back, then I think that tells you that John thinks that he can pull a sneaky a little further down.
Well, there's tackles.
People overvaluing sort of stuff.
There's tackles and corners, and I don't think John's going to draft one. How do you feel about Skaransky, like getting the top guard? Do you think this is too rich for pick 5?
He could be there at 20 with the way everybody's talking. So I would probably hold out and see if you could get him there. But if they did it, I still couldn't be upset. I mean, that's a premium pick in the trenches. And that's what this 12 desperately wants. I know there's half of the 12s out there. Their hearts are breaking. Richardson's gone. I know for you, Will Anderson's gone. But I think there's still a lot here on the board that
I never expected to get Anderson, but I was holding out hope. Kind of like a little boy. You weren't going to get that top remote control car under the tree. You knew you were going to get the one from Walmart or something. It wasn't going to be the ultimate train set.
Right.
But you held out hope until you opened it and you're like, okay, this is fine. But I was still a little bit hoping for Anderson, but I didn't expect he'd make it to 5.
Yeah, I didn't quite know. I just with all the draft spin this year. This might be their best year at draft spin. The GMs and the media and everybody combined, like they really did keep us guessing here. Seahawks taking their time. I mean, it's still ticking down here. You'd think they'd have it locked and loaded for this scenario. That leads me to believe that maybe it's your wish here, Phil. It might be a trade back.
Yeah, I hope so, because I think this was not the scenario they wanted. I think they would have. I think Stroud, Anderson, and Richardson, 2 or 3 of those guys are the guys they wanted. I don't know who, but I don't think this is the scenario they were hoping for. If they wanted Carter, he'd already be locked in, I think.
And I wouldn't be upset either if that one that they get for trading back, because obviously they're going to get a 1 this year, but the next one that they get, if they take that next year, I wouldn't be mad about that, because most people seem to think that next year's draft class is a little bit better.
And it's so fun, Adam. It's so fun to not only cheer for your team, but to get someone to cheer against all year.
That's exactly true. I mean, boy, the Broncos stuff from last year, man, like that had layers upon layers of fun to it for 12s, no doubt about it.
Well, we could drop with the Washingtons, the footballers, they're
yeah.
16.
There's the rumor. What if they are trading for, say, like Chase Young? They trade down and get Chase Young.
Okay, I'm down there too, but that's expensive. There's not a lot of teams that now that Lamar's signed. I mean, we can't really drop for quarterback needy teams other than the Patriots. And good luck cheering against Belichick.
Raiders are at 7.
Yeah, and we won't get a number 1 next year for that, but we could pull another second rounder maybe.
Yeah, another second rounder this year. That'd be okay by me. The pick is in, Phil. No trade back.
Okay, now I don't know who it is. I don't know who it is. I'm wrong. Now maybe it's Carter.
Ooh, boy. I just got up this morning in my jammies. I'm 8 years old. I walked down the stairs. The presents are under the tree. I'm about to open the first biggest gift of the day. I can't wait.
Maybe it's Wilson. Maybe we are doing what Sherm said, and we're going to go back to a 4-3 a little bit more, because Wilson doesn't really fit on a 3-4.
That's true. And I don't mind having some size on the edge. That's what I like about Wilson, is just
so long. He's really long.
And he's big. He's just big. He's a big drink of water.
He seemed like an odd fit for what we were running last year. But Sherm has heard rumors we'll be doing a little bit more of the previous defense. So I don't know if that's true. But then Wilson would make a ton of sense.
Yeah, maybe I saw a couple people speculate that maybe they're going to go to more like a 4-2-5 with all the safeties.
What if it's Levis though?
Well, then if it's Levis, I'll just set off now, because I'm breaking my tablet and walking out of the podcast hobo shack right now. That would infuriate me to no end. I could have gotten over the Richardson thing if that would have happened,
Yeah, I'm a little worried.
I'm not worried at all.
Okay. I didn't think I'd be worried sitting right here, but actually right now I'm actually worried, and I wasn't expecting it. I thought I was going to have total confidence.
I'm not refreshing the comments here, because I don't want to I don't want to spoil it for myself here.
Okay.
I'm going to turn up the volume.
We want to hear Goodell say it, right?
Yeah. There's a number of 12s there, man. They're getting down.
Yeah. Right next to the Niner fans. I don't even know what they're cheering for. They're just there to cheer against our pick.
Sure. That feels like a Niner thing to do.
Let's go laugh at the Seahawks for whatever they get.
Yeah. Oh, here he comes.
We want to urinate in their cereal a little bit. Witherspoon. It is a corner.
Wow.
Okay.
Wow.
Seahawk. I mean, he's a Seahawk. If any player was a Seahawky player, it was Witherspoon. So that makes some sense.
Short of the size, right? Like that's the thing that he doesn't fit.
No, I mean mentality. I mean of everything I've heard about mentality and his style, not his form or shape. Yep.
Yeah. If you want to bring the boom back to the LOB, this is a guy that you want in your defensive backfield. And one of the things I love the most about watching his tape was when teams threw nonsense bubbles and nonsense screens and things like that. He's like, oh, that again, you predictable college offense. I'm going to just come in and blow it up. Oh, yeah, they're going to show it right here. This is the first highlight is him blowing up a little script. Boom. Yeah, take that.
That has
– how do you like them apples?
Yeah, that means a lot to be the first time Pete's ever taken a first-round corner. You know they love him.
It is, but so last year they got their bookend tackles.
Yeah.
And they got one of the corners, and now you've got lockdown corners. Now, that means that they think that they can get interior defensive line help later on in the draft. Like, they must feel pretty good about that.
They can.
He's a top flight talent, man, and he's a dog.
Boom.
Boom. Yeah, eat it. How do you like that, Michigan guy?
Yeah. He hits like Cam, doesn't he?
He does, but he's like
even though he's smaller,
3/4 the size. Yeah.
Where's Cam's
I love
number?
him.
You think they'll let him wear Cam's number? He's a 31.
Well, that's up to Cam. I defer to Cam on that. Like, if anything involves Cam and like maybe stepping on his toes, like I'll let Cam make that decision. That's a dude I never want to cross in my life, even though he's a nice guy. Oh, look at the golf claps. Everybody's golf clapping. I think John went to hide. Do you think they would have taken Witherspoon if Richardson was still there or Anderson?
Maybe. I don't think if Anderson was there.
Okay. I think they would have taken him if Richardson was there. That's a guess.
No, I think it would have been. I got a feeling it'd been if they were willing to take him here. I think they would have taken Witherspoon. I bet he was their second choice. That's my feeling right now. That's what I'm going to say is Anderson.
Well, now I'm a little salty that I didn't make my. I think we should take a cornerback video because I went back and forth in my own brain too many dang times.
Yeah, I just didn't think they'd do it unless they absolutely loved him, and there was a chance because everything about the way he plays is the kind of guy they love.
Yeah. Yep. I'm fired up, man. I don't know. Now I'm going to refresh the comments here. So okay.
My wife's excited. She likes what he looks like.
All right. Well, if we got the misses' thumbs up there, then we're doing good. Sam, so draft clues are officially live. You have to tell us what his draft clue was for that one.
My wife says we're ready for some boom, so this makes sense.
So, Vyeth, what a joke of a pick.
Wow.
I'll be curious for you to expound on that a little bit in the comments if you don't mind, bud. Just
he must be a Mike Jackson fan, huh?
Well, it's either he's a Mike Jackson fan, which, I get it. Or the idea that they can develop and have developed corners later on in the draft on the regular. And so it feels like you don't need that guy at that position right there. I don't know.
No, I could see that. Again, if they love him, I love him. I'm stoked about it being Witherspoon. I just didn't think they'd do that. That's not what I thought they would do.
Right. I'd say it's the L2.0B. You're right, Luke. Like we're on the right track here, especially if Adams can come back and be who he is. That would be exciting.
Oh, it would be amazing. Could you? Yeah. If he's healthy, there's no doubt this is the best defensive backfield. Check this out. Love at nickel, right? Who's just all around against the run, plays well in the nickel, and he's former captain. You get two studs out on the corner. You got a genius at Diggs who just always knows what's going to happen. And then you get Adams out making differences, as well as now we have Witherspoon terrifying people on the other side. I mean, I don't think there could be any argument for the best defensive backfield in football if Adams is healthy.
It's right up there. I would have to go back and look at some of the other rosters, especially after the draft here, and see where everybody kind of stands. But the Jets have a pretty good defensive backfield.
Sure.
I mean, DJ Reed's a player, and I always liked him.
They got good corners, but I'm saying with Adams, our safeties and nickel would be better than them. But I guess I'd have to check.
Yeah. As to Anonymous here, like, why not Trey Brown? I think the real problem there is that he just can't stay on the field, because you're not wrong. He is a very sticky corner. Like the little bit he played, he looked pretty good.
Be a good backup, I think.
Yeah.
Which you need at corner, but corner's a premium position. Was that what you were starting to say earlier, Adam? I mean, tackles and corner,
receiver, edge, quarterback and receivers borderline. I think for a lot of people,
you look at the pay; it's pretty premium these days for a receiver.
Yeah, that's true. So yeah, we get a guy who can be a badass corner right out the box, for cheap for a number of years. All right. So a $20 donation from Rigging the Game. Just appreciate you back, man. Thank you a ton. You're awesome, man. Thank you for the support. Don't go, Josh. Don't go. We need you.
Oh, Josh is leaving. I thought he was going to come on maybe.
I forgot to, all of us forgot to reach out and be like, dude, we got to get you on here. Or maybe Brandon didn't. He had other things on his docket here. So. Oh, okay. So I asked Viath here to kind of expound. Pete's thing is taking cornerbacks no one else thinks are good, making them household names. You can train quarterback, you can't train speed and size, and we can't stop the catfish run, and you take this pick. I get that. Now, if they don't address heavily the defensive line with probably the next 3 picks, or at least 2 out of the 3 next picks, it starts to get like, okay, what are we doing here? Like, I'm tired of getting run on too.
Cardinals traded up.
Interesting. They're going for Carter. So
Probably.
Pete and John obviously not in on the Jalen Carter thing.
No, because they know, they would have taken him if they thought he was fine. That they're not taking guys that aren't in love with football.
Yeah, that makes sense.
He didn't even play half the snaps for his team.
Garrett, yeah, I need to be sure to go ahead and take that curse off. I think we have a couple rounds before they pick, so I've got time. Yeah.
There's time.
Yeah. And just, in that vein, Devin Witherspoon, thank you, Denver. Appreciate you guys.
And
and
speaking of the run game on the edge, he is good against the run game on the edge, right? I mean,
that's true. And the Niners like to run that wide zone a lot. And if you got a guy in run support that really hits, that could be cool.
Remember the Legion of Boom? They were excellent against the run on the outside. Sherm was awesome. The corners were good against the run. In fact, the only reason the Niners beat us that one time with that big run. Remember who is their running back that had all the stats, just played forever? I'm spacing on his name, and it's throwing off my statement I wanted to say.
AP?
Oh,
I don't know.
I'm Niners running back that they had forever.
Oh, Frank Gore?
Frank Gore. The only reason he had that huge run and beat us out the year previous was because Sherm got grabbed, and Sherm was right there in the hole. But I mean, our corners were always willing to be involved in the run game. And you look at Witherspoon when he plays, he's absolutely involved in the run game. So who did the Cards take? Was it Carter?
Paris Johnson. So Viath was a little afraid in the comments that they're going to take Carter. We're going to have to face another Aaron Donald year in, year out. No, they go with a left tackle to let him flounder in front of Kyler Murray as he scrambles around and makes a left tackle almost obsolete.
Well, that's who Kyler was tweeting that he wanted, was Paris.
All right. So I'll have to get with Brandon Josh and get it so that he can send you a link. And when you have time a little later tonight, I'd love to have you on for a few minutes, man. That'd be awesome.
Yeah.
So Mark, relieved that no Jalen Carter. There are some scary things when it comes to him. And I don't know who you kept thinking about when you heard all the things about Carter, Phil, but for me, it was Haynesworth, Albert Haynesworth.
Yeah.
That was the name that came to mind over and over and over again.
Definitely. And Malik.
So Anonymous and Stu are in sync here. They both think Carter goes at 10 to the Eagles. If so, Bijan's still on the board at that point.
Yeah, but a lot of people think the Eagles would never take a running back that early. If they take him, it'll be with their second pick. But but he would be a perfect fit for their team, Bijan. They just,
oh man,
their front office doesn't value running backs that way, supposedly, is what I was reading. And Carter is that's a great point by Stu. And who was the other guy that said that?
That said, it was anonymous. Yeah.
Oh, by the Flockers. The Eagles is a great spot for Carter. They got a good situation. They got the guy that kept him in line that they drafted last year. He was the one that played really well up next to him. The other defensive lineman. So yeah, there's a lot of buzz that the Eagles would like him.
Well, this is interesting.
Now we got a while.
Yeah, we got a while. So, just waiting on Brandon to chime in here at some point and be done, being a supportive dad or whatever the crap it is that he's doing. Like,
yeah.
What
a guy. So do you think that it's possible the Hawks use that time because they were looking to see if we can trade down, but didn't get the offer? Like they knew they wanted Witherspoon, but if they could find a trade, they would have gone for it.
Well, they did take an awfully long time. So that makes me wonder, because you heard John talk about in his pre-draft presser that they kind of have frameworks in place with a few other teams, right? And if the draft kind of came off like they thought, in one scenario, maybe they were trying to work a trade, but the way things had went in the first couple picks there, teams just weren't interested. They were like, no, this is going our way. We'll hold.
The Colts curveball with Levis, with taking Richardson over Levis kind of throws it off. Maybe nobody wants Levis.
Oh, he's going to the Raiders right now.
You think so?
Yeah.
That would work. He's got traits that they like.
I see Brandon's little icon popping up here. Is he ready?
We got Brandon coming in.
Is he ready? He looks ready.
I think he'd be stoked about Witherspoon. Ready. I'm expecting Brandon to be stoked about Witherspoon. What do you think, Adam?
Okay, so I've known him since kindergarten.
Yeah.
His reaction is going to be, yeah, that's a way you could go, and I think it's going to be good. I'm excited about it. There's definitely concerns, and I could see why people would be angry. And he's gonna middle this thing. I can tell you right now.
He's generally mid on most of his reactions, isn't he?
Oh, No, he's
1 to 10. He's from 1 to 10. He's always reacting between 4, 5, and 6.
Yeah, he's the most stable dude I have maybe known in my whole life. It's just right down the middle every time, and you can count on him, right? And it's been great for me because being the dumbass loudmouth, like I get us into trouble sometimes, and he gets us out of it. So that's nice. Okay, here's the man.
All right, here I am.
Oh, he forced his way in. Look at that.
There he is.
Yeah,
I can bring myself in. I know what I'm doing here.
Thank God. Can you take over
for
the
as
comments?
long as possible? And you know what? Now it's my turn.
Yeah.
All right. So I have not listened to anything that you guys have had to say. I just hopped on. I've seen the pick, and it looks like the Raiders pick is just coming in now. But did I not tell you who my favorite highlight play of all the draft picks was the guy that the Seahawks picked at number 5 with Devin Witherspoon? Guys, I'm fired up.
Yes, he's fired up. So you're wrong, Adam.
I was wrong.
You're wrong, Adam.
I thought you were going to middle this. You did middle it. You're in. He's in with both feet. I love it.
I am. Well, we talked about all of these scenarios, right? That they could go interior your defensive line, that they could go corner, that maybe they could go quarterback. We've gone through all of the different scenarios. Shoot, you were even talking about Bijan, and I heard them even talking about that as a possibility on the NFL radio network. So they don't go there. They don't go with Carter. The thing that I like about it, though, is that with Carter and Witherspoon both on the board, they had both those guys in for top 30 visits, right? So they gave him the test, the facility test, right? Where they have him meet all the people, and Witherspoon was the guy that passed. And who knows how Carter did, but obviously not as well as Witherspoon, or else maybe we'd be talking about somebody different at this pick. But it's exciting because got Woolen on one side, going to have Witherspoon on the other side, however they decide to have their sides. But this solidifies that secondary in a way that it has me fired up.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Now, Phil had a theory. Like
Adams is healthy. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, yes. I got you. Sorry.
If Adams is healthy, will we have the best defensive backfield in the National Football League?
I mean, it'd be hard to disagree, right? Name me 5 other dudes who play safety and defensive back, then Love, Adams, Quandre, and then now the 2 corners. Who else are you going to pick for a better secondary?
I don't know. I said I'd have to go through some of the rosters and see if there was one that floated my boat. But I mean, off the top of my head, I think you guys are right. This is the best secondary in the league if Jamal Adams can be Jamal Adams again.
What were you setting up the chat that I wasn't going to be hyped about this pick?
Yeah. I said you were going to middle the pick. You were going to be like, yeah, I like it. I'm fired up, but I can see why people are upset. And
who's upset about this?
Oh, there's a couple people for sure. Yeah.
Raiders took Wilson.
Oh, okay. Hottie McDaniels is all in on Garoppolo then.
Wilson, to me, he like in terms of the way he looks as a player, on tape and the highlights. And I mean, just look at him here as he's coming up to the stage too. I mean, I could see how a team, and that was one of the reasons why I think people are thinking that maybe he could even go as high as 2 or 3, that he wouldn't last necessarily to number 7. It's just his, I don't know. He didn't have that consistent production that I necessarily would have been super stoked with if the Seahawks went this direction. I would have been happy anywhere on the defensive line too. The Devin Witherspoon pick just feels so Seahawky to me.
Yeah.
That it feels right.
He's probably the most Seahawky type player, other than, like, not talking about the size and such, but his style seemed like one of the most Seahawky players that they'd have a chance to get, wouldn't you say?
Carly makes a really good point here. I'm a little sad we didn't get Wilson with the pick that we got for trading Wilson. Like that, there would have been some poetic, I don't know what you would like, just a circular closure with that.
Especially if they had him wear number 3, right?
Exactly. Then everybody we could all recycle our Wilson Seahawks jerseys.
Our jerseys would be ready to go.
Well, there you go. That's exactly why they didn't pick him then, is because that wouldn't be more jersey sales.
They want to sell more first-round jerseys. Yep.
Yeah. So if you were Wilson and you had the ability to pick number 3, would you do it just knowing that a bunch of Seahawks fans in the fan base would already have your jersey, and so that they'd show up to the game and be rooting for you right away? Or would you pick a new number just based on jersey sales?
No.
I think you'd pick a different number. You don't want to be the other Wilson in 3.
That's a boring answer, Adam. Come on. That's a boring answer. You know it is.
Oh, well, that's fine. I'm not always entertaining. I try hard, but they can't all be winners.
I expected you were going to be pumped, Adam, but then Brian didn't, but then I asked Adam and he's like, well, I've known him since kindergarten. He's going to run right in the middle. That's how he reacts. Mr. Cool.
I suppose you could think that way, but I just told him on the last show that he had my favorite highlight out of all the draft picks.
I know. I apparently I don't listen well. Britt tells me all the time, so it's part of it's a problem. I'm working on it.
So I missed the shakeup with the 3rd overall pick.
Yeah,
with Arizona trading back to where did Houston come in? Did they have other picks in the first round that they were able to get all the way back to number 3 again?
They also gave up next year's 1st and 3rd.
Yeah, that's pretty wild.
12 this year and a 2nd, and then a 1st and 3rd next year.
I'm not happy about that for our division. But...
Oh, because it gives the Cardinals more ammunition for next year.
Yeah, I still wish it was Steve Keim there instead of Ossenfort or whatever.
It's still the same ownership. So, I mean, they might have a 1-year reprieve, but then it's just going to, the bad thing is that now that the Cardinals potentially have the worst owner in the NFL with the Commanders being sold, that's not very good for us, right? Like, it could be Cardinals might be next.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. We need the Bidwells to stay in charge there. It's good for our deal. I like that. No doubt about it.
Falcons are in. What do you bet they took Bijan, Adam?
Be a smart pick for them. I mean, I guess if they're in on Ritter, if they're not all in on Ritter, this could be Levis.
Oh, Levis time.
Oh,
Get out your Levi's.
Yeah.
I have a feeling that they're going to let it ride with Ritter. I feel like they're going to give him a year. If you look at the quarterback situation throughout that whole division, I mean, Derek Carr in New Orleans is maybe the best. And then I like Ritter more than I like, what is it? The combination of Trask and Baker in Tampa. Yeah. And then in Carolina,
CJ Stroud. CJ Stroud's the best quarterback in that division.
Well, he might be now.
Oh, wait, Carolina. No, he went to Bryce Young.
Right.
Yeah.
Bryce Young went to Carolina. Yeah. So
Atlanta also needs a corner. They might go Gonzalez.
Yeah, that's
they
true.
Could go defense. Atlanta has so many needs. Who knows which way they could go?
Bam Cakes coming in hot with $27.99 Canadian. Appreciate it, man.
Hey,
LOB 2.0. You know what? The idea of taking Van Ness a little later at 20, that sings to me a little bit. He kind of feels like a B+ A- Hutchinson.
If he makes it that far.
I was thinking that he might even be a possibility in the top 10 if the Seahawks were to trade back.
Yeah.
Okay.
Isn't he more of a 4-3 guy? So it kind of depends on if we're going to go back to that at Brandon.
I don't know.
You don't know.
All right. I'm going to duck out for half a second and set up my heater. It's starting to get chilly in here.
You're going to miss the Bijan pick.
No, I'm not. It's not happening. Don't do it.
Yeah. Nate Shute says, I'm hoping for Miles Murphy at 20 somehow. Yeah, we have to hope that there's just a run on offensive players. That's because, yes, this is setting up now for the defense heavy or interior. Yeah, I'd still be happy interior offensive line too.
I'd be fine with a wide receiver. Adam wants 3 interior defense. I'm like, the math isn't working because you want Bijan, you want a guard. We got to figure out interior defense. I feel like we can get on Saturday, but that's me. I don't know if that's right.
Yeah, I think you're right. Interior defense. If you're just looking for
run stuffer,
the one role guy is not the multi-tool players.
Yeah, there's several. Yeah.
Mozzie Smith has to come to Seattle from Anonymous.
The Michigan dude.
Yeah.
He's a good run stuffer. He'll probably never get a sack in his career unless it's an accident.
It will be interesting, Sojin, to see how far Carter falls. I don't think he goes outside of the top 10. I think between the Bears and the Eagles, one of those two teams is going to take Carter.
No, this young man is hyped. He's announcing the pick. Good for him, man.
Yeah, he's a big brothers, big sisters worker, I think.
Yeah, right on, dude.
That's cool. I used to do that.
Did you really? That honestly, it doesn't surprise me, but that's awesome, man.
Actually, in Kalispell, that's where I did it.
Oh, no kidding.
Yeah.
Shane Turner says, how bad must Carter's interview have been?
They took
if you're talking about the visit to Seattle, who knows how bad it was? It just may not have been as good as Witherspoon is kind of the point that I was thinking.
Or even just not quite enough to make Pete and John be like, oh, okay, I see what happened there, and I get it. Your answers, they make a big difference to me.
Yeah, I think they were no dice. If they were going to cut out guys for character last year, I just think they must have figured out this isn't going to work for us. We're always compete, and you're like sometimes compete.
Twitter was right.
Yep.
Bijan to the
little draft crush dies right there for me, but that's okay. That's okay.
Oh, watch his highlights. This will be some of the more fun vid that we see.
He's gonna have to go the Earl Thomas route though. If he wants to speed up, he's gonna have to shave off some hair there.
No, the Mohawk makes him go faster. Or the Frohawk. Is it a Frohawk?
Yeah,
I don't know what he. Yeah,
I don't know. I just know that Earl had a lot of hair for the especially his first season. Was it season 3 where he shaved it all off?
Like 3 or 4, yeah, somewhere in there.
Yeah.
It's
So-
Camaro Mohawk hair combo somehow. Like he parties in the back with the Mohawk somehow.
Yeah. So the Eagles trade up and the pick is in.
Yeah. They traded just one spot, huh?
I guess. Who was originally there at 9?
Wasn't that the Bears slot?
I think the Bears were there. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
They dropped down to Carolina from that one. Yeah, they
Well,
just swapped with the Bears. They must really want Carter.
the Eagles, yeah. Or in the Bears, I could see them trading back with Paris Johnson gone. You know, maybe they feel like, well, okay, we trade back a spot here and we can still end up with Skoronski and go from there.
I never bang on teams for trading up just one spot because the Bears were probably going to trade down with somebody.
Yeah.
And if you're the Eagles and you don't want somebody to jump ahead of you and take your guy, you take the hit and give up whatever it takes to move up the one spot. And a lot of times it doesn't take a whole lot because you're just flip-flopping picks with somebody. But, you know, whether you have to give up a third, but just to be sure that you get your guy, I don't see anything wrong with that.
It took me years to figure that out, Brandon. For years, I'm like, what kind of goober trades with the other team? It's like, like all the rationale didn't make sense. I'm like, if they're taking your guy, you don't want to trade it. But then finally, I came around to thinking, oh yeah, it's because they're auctioning.
Oh yeah, there's other teams that might want to trade for that spot.
I was slow to the party on figuring that one out.
So there's going to be some sad Jalen Carter face memes after that last little montage there that they showed of him sitting there with Drew Rosenhaus.
Oh,
Carter,
you think that
this will be Carter? Carter will probably work at the Eagles some. Who's that defensive lineman they said always kept him in line that they drafted last year? Jordan Davis, right?
Right.
Yeah. They say that's his lead. That's his guy. And when he's there, he's the one that could keep him going.
Yeah.
I didn't like it that a Georgia writer said that, though. I'm like, if he needs some dude to keep him motivated, I'm not sure that's a Seahawk.
Yeah.
Right. That was a little bit of a flag.
Well, Nate's talking maybe O-line here too. So I don't know. Something to keep an eye on.
Oh, they're not going to take Carter?
I don't know.
Adam has somebody tipping his picks to him, huh?
No. I put up Nate Shoots here. He said it's either Carter or O-line. They actually really need O-line as well.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
There's some there. How do you guys feel about Michael Mayer? Would you like to land him at 20 or are you just really hoping D?
Well, especially going corner with your first pick, I would love to see trenches. I'm not as low on our tight end group as others are. I know Clinton's like, not a big fan, but
that doesn't mean I'm low on the guys we have, Adam. It means I would like to get a big difference maker in the passing game. Like,
yeah. I don't know if Mayer's necessarily the guy for me at tight end
because he can block and catch.
He can.
What do you not like about him, Brandon?
I guess I haven't watched a ton of him, so
I like that he's all around and he's good. Like Zach Miller-ish.
I just thought he was more on the pass catching side than on the blocking side.
Stud blocker.
Okay.
Let me look at it again, but that's what I've heard. Maybe I'm wrong. He's not the best blocker like Washington, right?
Right.
Let me look.
Bijan's such a delightful guy. He would have been a fun player to root for. And I was in Atlanta. I can't stand Atlanta.
Tenacious that's a bummer
blocker,
for you.
Tenacious blocker, good technique, but he's also a great route runner, and his catching is second to none. Come on, Brandon.
You can talk me into it.
So
see, he's middling you on Mayer. That's what's happening.
That's what you were expecting.
Yeah.
The Bears gave up a fourth to do that. I mean, they gained a fourth to do that.
Yeah. Okay. See that's a
fourth
round pick. And that way you ensure that you get the guy that you want.
That's definitely worth it for the Eagles.
And it's worth it for the Bears because the Bears then know that they weren't going to take Carter. So why not take a fourth?
And by the way, if you want to sound smart, just always say the Eagles. That was smart because Roseman's pretty much always making good choices.
Yeah.
The only thing I do wonder about Mayer for the Seahawks is if he's just, I don't know if he has the speed necessarily to where the Seahawks would take him in the first round.
But he's
not
as fast
a fast dude.
He's as fast as Kittle.
Yeah.
JR made me chuckle.
I wish I could see all the comments. You guys get to see that. So if
Oh
you
no,
don't
I
know-
put it up there, but I took it down
You
pretty
put it
fast.
up
There's
for
little
just a
cussage in there.
short while.
the shorty.
Yeah.
Here we
Stu
go.
Lowe
Yep,
in the
that's
chat
Carter.
says poor Algier on the Falcons.
There was most of these picks have been a non-surprise, guys.
Yeah, that's a good point. I actually hoped that Jalen Carter would fall past 10 in some ways, just because of Drew Rosenhaus being like, we're not doing any visits outside of the top 10. Just that arrogance, you know?
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
And then he slips out of the top 10.
that would have been funny. Yeah.
Well, there
This
he
is a
goes.
team that
Carter going to the Eagles.
This is a team he could play well or bust, and it won't even hurt him.
True.
He's like bonus dressing.
Yeah, they've got crazy defense though.
If he pops, that's going to be miserable to play them. They're already your number one competition in the NFC, and this could make it worse.
Well, when you look at the NFC and the quarterback situation, I mean, do the Eagles have the best quarterback in the NFC now?
No.
I mean, I don't think that anybody's decidedly better than the Eagles or the Seahawks for quarterback situation.
Who is the best quarterback in the NFC at this point? It's a good question.
I threw that out onto Discord, and nope, there you could look at every one of them. Are any of them decidedly better than Geno?
No.
You got the Rams have Stafford, and you never know.
Niners rotation. Kyler's hurt. Oh yeah, he's definitely relieved old Jalen Carter.
Is the best just because guaranteed if it's inside 2 yards or getting a first down.
And then what? So in the NFC North, you got what? Cousins, Goff, Fields, and what's the fourth team in the
Cousins
NFC North?
The best.
Here's our Ryan 911's list. Number
Geno.
1 in the NFC.
Yeah.
Geno Smith.
Okay.
Number 2 in the
number 1 in our
NFC.
heart.
Drew Lock.
Oh, mother. He's number 2, all right. He wears the right number.
He might be all right. I want to see a full preseason from Drew.
Okay.
This year.
No COVID. We'll see what happens.
Yeah, let's see a no COVID Drew in the preseason.
I'll tell you what you'll see. You'll see a guy, if his first read isn't there, he panics.
Guys settled in as they get a little older too.
Who is it that panics after the first read, Phil?
Drew.
Oh, well, I don't know. There's a lot to. He got done so dirty in Denver, and if you're trying to beat out that level of Geno when he already had the playbook,
yeah,
it's not happening. So I don't hold it against him that he didn't beat out Geno either.
No, but I think he's got the skills other than the processor. I just think his processor doesn't work.
He's got too much knucklehead.
He can do any of the skill stuff you want. I just feel like if the play isn't called just right, where he can read that guy and hit him, he just looks confused. But maybe you're right. Maybe it was just last year was a new playbook and he couldn't. But it looked like the same thing with the Broncos. Like he could make cool plays if it was the right read right away.
So Ryan, this was an interesting question because I was wrong. I was dead wrong. I've seen Geno. He's a career backup. I don't need that. Give me Drew Lock. I want to see what the potential is. And I was wrong. All the wrongs.
I wanted Geno, but mostly because I didn't want Lock. So I didn't want to ruin the growth of this young team by putting in what I consider a less than starter level quarterback to where we can't even figure out what our team is. I thought Geno was a good professional quarterback. I mean, I was there live for his first snaps with the Hawks, and then the rest.
Oh yeah, you got the Geno chance going at the Rams game.
I know. I started the whole thing. No, we felt like it. Like everybody together just started doing it. I have no idea that I didn't feel like I heard somebody do it before me. I felt like I heard all of us at the same time doing it. It was weird.
Hey, that's the best kind right there. It's organic, right?
I have a feeling that Jacob was all in on Carter, and he's feeling a little down that Carter goes to the Eagles and not the Seahawks. Is that true, Jacob? I'm just getting that sense based on your line of questioning. I don't think we're going to know what ultimately made them pass. My hope is it wasn't something that they saw that made them pass from Carter, or that made them pass on Carter. It was more that something that Witherspoon did that won them over.
I don't think that's right, though, Brandon.
I don't either. I think if Carter had been a guy that they felt like that they could count on, they would have taken him. I mean, that it's easily the biggest need, and he is the best player on tape. So
Yeah.
That's Cortez Kennedy stuff, you know?
Yeah.
How do you not want that if he's all in?
Yeah, you have to be sure that he's not going to be a bust, though. So,
Yeah.
Yeah, the Hainsworth thing, like Adam was saying, is
I mean, maybe the McDowell thing played into it enough that there were just enough.
But that was the second round, and they never got over it. They never stopped kicking themselves. And could you imagine the pick 5?
That's what I mean. That's a little residual there that kind of stuck with that pick.
Yeah. That's a very strong possibility. It's something they talked about in their pre-draft presser and things like that. So it's good as guess as any.
All right. Bears
We're going to see a Peter
in.
King story that gets into it, I think, come Monday. That'd be my guess.
Oh, you think it happened already, huh?
What, Peter King coming out and letting us know why the Seahawks weren't in on Carter? Yeah.
Oh, why the Seahawks weren't in. Okay.
There's Darnell Wright. There he went, Adam.
Okay. He's a beast, man. Tennessee.
You probably saw him a lot on those clips when you were watching spacing on the quarterback, Hendon Hooker.
Yep. No, for sure. He's a heck of a player. I mean, he's stonewalled Will Anderson pretty good in their matchup. So that tells you a lot right there if you're a big Will Anderson believer.
He's a right.
Now they're protecting Justin Fields, and boy, how badly did they need offensive line help? It was bad. I mean, they were doing the FU Affetti thing there for a long time, right?
Yeah.
Like they had to deal with Affetti on Sundays.
Oh, here he is going against Brazil.
Yeah, they just showed him against Carter too.
Yeah, they showed him against Anderson and Carter.
Yeah.
All the big guys.
I know some of the concerns.
Left tackle.
Yeah, could he? Some of the concerns with him are his foot speed.
Yeah.
And really only 1 year of solid production in college. But with the top tackle off the board, I think the Bears were kind of in a tough spot here to where, and with it, there not being a ton of depth at tackle, I think that they kind of got themselves into a spot where at least they could be happy with picking up an extra 4th rounder. They could be happy with, all the picks that they got from Carolina.
Well, and if you need a right tackle, he's going to be a great one for a long time. Right tackle's a big deal.
Especially in this day and age in the NFL where, the Boses of the world, they don't just, line up over the left tackle every play anymore. That doesn't happen. They're hunting matchups. So having a stud at right tackle is a big deal.
How many fumbles do you give up because your right tackle can't handle it? That's the side where they come and strip you.
Yeah.
So top needs for the Titans. You could see them going offensive line, maybe first wide receiver coming off the board next.
Nobody's chosen Levis, right?
No.
That's true. And they are not. Is Malik still on the roster?
What's that? Tannehill's still on the roster.
Tannehill.
Malik Willis, it looked like Malik Willis. And they're in Tennessee. I'd be surprised if they don't go Hooker. You're trying to, you got Tannehill for the next year. You're trying to plan for the future. You give time for a Hooker to heal up. And I think he's a better prospect than Levis, personally.
That's a good call. I wouldn't be surprised about that. I kind of feel like the Patriots are going to potentially take a quarterback if one of those is there, Levis or Hooker. There might be one they like.
Yep.
And speaking of Peter King, he was the one that had that article just a few days ago about how the Titans have lost confidence in Malik. Yeah.
Okay.
Lost faith, I think maybe even have been the word.
There it is. Well, look, Willis just had so far to go. I mean, the level of competition that he played at Liberty and being raw there, and then having to come into the NFL, and then getting pressed into starting duty there for a little while with Tannehill injured. Like, that's a rough go, man. He needs like 3 years.
Well, Liberty's like smaller than Montana, at least when I visited.
Yeah, well,
I've never
I
been.
think they sometimes play University of Montana.
Yeah. Play the Grizz.
Yeah.
That would make sense.
Yeah.
I've been to both schools. I'm not sure.
All the way out there in Virginia. Is it Virginia? Or are they? I know they're out east.
Yeah, Lynchburg,
Virginia.
Yeah.
Grant's schooling me on geography here, and he's not wrong. So maybe it is Levis at that point.
Tennessee is shaped like this. Remember?
Yeah, it is. It is. I've been to Tennessee a few times. You'd think I'd remember that, but
yeah.
Nope. It's just
definitely
more south.
Close enough to scout both guys.
Yeah,
very well.
And they get to do it without using one of your top 30s. Sneaky little rule about same state.
Oh, that's right, because they. But even don't the Seahawks get? Isn't it kind of a commuting area where we get Oregon too?
I didn't know that. Maybe you're. I didn't think so.
I didn't think the Oregon players counted for us either.
Okay, well, that's a good question. That's a trivia. Maybe someone on here knows.
Witherspoon wearing number 31. Is that announced already, Raven?
I would love that.
Only if Cam's cool with it.
Right. Cam has to sign off.
Yeah.
Well,
I don't know. Based on those highlights, I could see him signing off.
Has anyone?
Yeah.
Other players have worn 31 in preseason since Cam. Nobody's made the 53 with it though, right?
Well, who wasn't? Who on offense was 31? Wasn't it?
Wasn't DJ Dallas
running back? Dallas.
He's still on the team.
That's right.
Is he changing numbers?
Maybe.
That'd be pretty corny for a fourth-year player to give up his number to a rookie.
Carly says, with the $4.99 super chat, excited about Witherspoon. Who do you think we're picking at 20? If we don't go defense, will you be worried? I don't know if I'd be worried. I like the idea of going defense heavy with these initial picks, but interior offensive line, I could get excited about that, whether it's guard or center at that 20 spot. Mm-hmm. I could get excited about. Yeah, I mentioned Zay Flowers being the guy that I wanted. If he's there at 20,
yep.
I'd be bummed if they went receiver at 20. I genuinely would.
So here's the problem, Adam. After the top 3 or 4 guys, the receiver kind of drops off. Like there could be up to 6 guys who might be a good starter, Tyler replacement guy. After that, it's really dicey, to say the least, for receiver in this draft.
And they're all kind of small. Even the top guys. Like
Tyler's small. I don't mind small.
So I was mad when they drafted Tyler because he was small, and I got proved wrong by a lot. I love Tyler Lockett, but they talk about this being the drafts of exceptions, right? And the outliers and that sort of thing. And it's so atypical for an outlier to succeed in the league. It just is. And, you see the Tutu Atwells of the world come in and like, he doesn't do squat. And I mean, you can go down the list of a bunch of the small receivers that have come in and not done Tyler Lockett things or even close.
Yeah.
You want Quentin Johnson. That's who you want. TCU.
I don't know. I didn't look at any of his stuff. Again, another polarizing prospect for a lot of people. I don't know.
Skronsky's gone, Brandon.
Oh,
and the Levis fall continues.
They have him as a tackle, but almost everybody thinks he'll be guard, right? Oh, they say guard. Okay. He said offensive tackle when he read the card.
Oh, okay.
Are they projecting him at guard then? I know that depending on the team that he went to, they were kind of thinking he might move to the inside.
The screen says guard. I'd heard over and over guard. But yeah, Adam.
Yeah, his granddad only won 5 championships with the Packers, so no big deal. That's amazing.
Wow, that's pretty cool. Now, Quentin Johnson's the 6'3" guy, deep threat, speed, good at 50-50 balls. But I kind of like Zay. I kind of like Mingo. After the top 5, I don't really want him. If we don't get receiver today or tomorrow, I'm pretty much out. There's a lot of tight ends, right, though, through the draft.
Yeah, a lot of tight ends.
I mean, you can
And
always
see, and I wouldn't
find...
even be mad if they didn't.
Go ahead.
Is
Oh,
Adam
yeah, I
freezing
wouldn't
on
even
you,
be
Brandon?
mad.
Adam's
didn't go
freezing
D
up for
tackle
me.
at 20.
Yeah.
Oh, am I unfrozen?
You're in and out
No?
as far as your frozenness goes, but your audio's been fine.
Oh, okay. Yeah, well, fantastic. I wouldn't be mad if they didn't go D tackle at 20, because I do think you can get the run stuffer type guys,
Yeah.
kind of the more one-dimensional big guys later on in the draft. And we have addressed the interior pass rush with the Draymond Jones signing and bringing Jared Reed back, hopefully, in terms of his production. Hopefully it's, back to what we saw before. So I don't know that they need a pass rusher per se.
Yeah.
On the interior, just more run stuffers.
Because they got Dwan Jones and Jaron. They should be rushing. Yeah. Yeah. That's Brandon and I were talking about that when you took your break. The guys that can stuff the run, we can probably get on Saturday.
Right.
Yeah.
So yeah, some of the cons here with Skoronski, I see that he was the one with the shorter length arms, which I think is why they were projecting him to move more to the interior and play guard. So, but that he would project out as a really high level guard too. So probably not somebody that we would have been super upset with had he slid down to number 20.
Yeah.
But here he goes to the Titans.
There's
Lions picks in now.
Yeah, I was gonna say Lions aren't
that aren't big, Adam. I'm still thinking, like, wouldn't you love to have like the next Steve Smith, Doug Baldwin, one of those kind of dudes?
Yeah, but my point is that for every Steve Smith, Doug Baldwin, Tyler Lockett, there's 50 that don't work out.
And you're naming guys that were taken in the 3rd round or later.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or undrafted, and
Steelers find them later. Yeah.
That's wow. Lions
going
Jahmyr Gibbs.
That is early.
2nd running back off the board. And aren't the Lions
Swift?
No, they have Swift, and I guess they just haven't had guys that can really stay healthy.
Well, they obviously believe in Jared Goff and or don't believe in Levis or Hooker.
I guess so. Yeah. They must like Goff the way he does it. He seems to do fine for them, actually.
I'm just surprised they didn't go defensive line, corner. I mean, the Oregon corner is still on the board.
Yep, I know that Gonzalez. I can't believe how long he's stayed. I thought Gibbs was going to be the end of tonight or early tomorrow. I did not anticipate this early for him at all. I don't think anyone did that I've seen.
No, I think people are thinking he might sneak into the back end of the 1st round, but
I watched a lot of Gonzalez stuff though, and I don't know about you guys, but he just seemed kind of passive for a corner. Yeah.
All right, 911. Don't they know you can't draft a running back in the 1st or 2nd or the 1st half of the 3rd?
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I did hear a lot of people make the point throughout the last couple of weeks that if you do draft a running back in the 1st round, you best have your team sorted. And like the running back is kind of the cherry on top.
Yeah.
And, the Lions, for the most part, they've been growing something pretty nice up there. So, yeah. Oh, they're thrilled too. Oh, man, fired up. Woos. High five. Missed the high five out of exuberance.
That's nuts. They must have just absolutely thought this is the perfect guy.
Well, and he is a pass catcher out of the back. Yeah, he's an all-around back.
He plays slot some. Yeah.
And really, after Bijan and Gibbs, I think that is the shelf to the next group of running backs down.
Yeah, for sure.
Watch the Hawks pick Charbonnet at 20 and we all lose our minds.
That'd be brutal.
I wouldn't be mad about having Charbonnet on the roster.
Yeah, but at 20?
My guy is Rashawn Johnson. I kind of like him.
Okay.
The guy that played when Bijan wasn't out there.
I like Rashawn Johnson a lot. He's a thumper. That'd be a nice duo with K9, a guy who's used to sharing running back rotation carries and not being necessarily the bell cow and was still effective. A lot of running backs, you hear him say, well, they got to get a rhythm and, be in there enough to really be effective. Whereas with Johnson, he can plug and play.
And he's a pile pusher, which would be kind of nice to have.
Yes.
But yeah, I get
Not a 20 though. I don't want him at 20.
No, I get the point of Charbonnet, but he's expected to be somewhere tomorrow night, later on tomorrow night. But maybe the way the running backs are going, who knows? They could all be gone.
Mayer here could make a lot of sense for the Packers.
Yeah, definitely. That's a great call.
Help out Jordan Love.
Yeah.
And
they kind of with Dobbs on the outside and Watson
and
on
Jigba would be good for them.
I feel like they're kind of okay at. I mean, but yeah, between
he's the
Watson
slot
and
guy,
Dobbs.
Though.
Oh,
yeah,
that's
you
true.
keep Watson and Dobbs out on the outside, and then bringing Jigba in as a first-round wide receiver pick, a big-time pick, and then give Aaron Rodgers the FU on his way out the door.
That would needle Rodgers a little bit.
Yeah,
never take him.
Kind of fun.
And here the Jets are on the clock just a couple picks later.
Yeah.
No, that's a good call.
But they might. What if they don't like Love and they decide to go for one of the quarterbacks?
Ooh.
That would be interesting. It'd be interesting to see if Jordan Love had the same Favre Rodgers hissy fit at that point, because it all seems to come full circle for them.
It'd be spicy.
Yeah.
I
mean, is there a world that the Packers are better this year without Rodgers?
No.
Are we sure?
No.
Even like messed up thumb Rodgers?
Okay, it's possible.
Yeah.
It's not I mean, that division just feels so wide open, doesn't it?
Yeah. I mean, the Lions, I think, are the best. Well, Vikings, they're pretty good.
Vikings, I think, could make a run for it.
They're not going to win all those close score games again.
No.
I've always liked Cousins. Not everybody else does. I think he's good.
He's okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's like the new Andy Dalton.
He's scrappy.
Jacob says, do you think they thought number 5 was a luxury?
Oh, yeah. Man. Back to that discussion.
He must be sad. Jacob must be really sad with our corner pick.
Well, I think it's because the depth that they had at corner, having Trey Brown, having Mike Jackson, they had dudes who could all play, having Kobe Bryant, it felt like they had a lot of depth. And so going and getting a corner with the top pick, I could see why it would be a bit of a head scratcher. It's just, we talked about this though, Adam. It's having two guys who could be locked down guys on either side. That's exciting. And if you're Pete Carroll, and not so much seeing it as a luxury, just seeing it as having these guys on the outside, you just know that you're set there and that you can be.
And does it help your pass rush?
It does.
If it takes a second longer for the receivers to come free, and it gives Darrell Taylor and Nwosu and Mafe and company an extra second to get to the quarterback.
I mean, two things. Couldn't wrap my head around two things about it. We've invested a ton in the backfield between money and picks and everything. I mean, we've invested a lot, but this kind of goes to our what if confidence, where we were talking about, could we take an area to a 9? I mean, and maybe you do. You say, this is going to be our strength. We will flex on everybody with defensive backs. And instead of just trying to bring some of the lower ones up to mediocre, how about we just take something, make it the best in the league?
Van Ness just went to the Packers. That bums me out.
Yeah. All right.
So much for Meyer. Lots of people were mocking Meyer here.
Well, and just think about how in the past too, teams would dink and dunk on the Seahawks. They play the off coverage with Witherspoon on one side, with Woolen on the other side. You can put your corners right up on those receivers, press them, and then now you're giving your defensive line more time to get to the quarterback too, because the quarterback just can't bail out to the first quick throw.
Yep. I love that.
It's true.
I love that. Let's play him closer. Let's give him a chance to get there. Yep. Yeah. Brian thinks he's a difference maker. He's talking about
Witherspoon.
Witherspoon, yeah.
Well, we got Spoon and Woolen. So if it was Wooden and Spoon, it'd be really cool. We could have the Wooden Spoon defense.
That'd be pretty good. That'd be pretty good.
Don't want to get hit by a wooden spoon.
I don't think you want to eat with a Woolen spoon, though.
No, probably not.
No, ow, gross. No, just icky. Ew, oh, that's a terrible mental. I don't like that at all. Patriots on the clock.
Carly's getting impatient. Yeah, let's get through these next 6 picks already.
Here's
Yeah,
where
I
our
hear you.
quarterback's going, I think.
Plus, Carly, I ran out of propane, so like, yeah, I'm with you. Like,
You're
I
getting
wouldn't
chilly?
mind getting there. It's just a teensy bit chilly.
So, Brandon, are we going through pick 20 or are we going through pick 31?
I think through 20 is good. Do we really see the if the Seahawks jump back into the top of the first round, we can hop back on too.
Okay.
There we go.
That's fine.
Yeah.
I could see that. I think going through 20 was probably going to be reasonable. My dinner will be nice and cold by then. I could have like do the show while I'm eating, I guess. That wouldn't be the end of the world.
See, Mark knows you, Phil.
Yeah, there it is.
I didn't even know that about myself. Is that really how it goes? I guess so. Definitely on Discord, trying to pun it.
Hey, man, look, we're a bunch of dads. Like, the dad jokes flow. It's just how it is.
Scott H. also had himself sold on Carter. Sorry, Scott.
Yeah.
I
mean, I think as fans, we all were talking about the Carter pick potentially being like, okay, well, if they draft him, then we trust in Pete and John. Right. Yeah. So I think you have to say the same thing when they don't pick him because of character
especially
issues.
With him being on the board. It would be a completely different feeling if he were to get picked up by Arizona or Houston with one of those earlier picks or the Colts.
Yeah.
But,
wow, did the Patriots just trade out? Did Bill trade down for the 1,000th time?
He did. Here's
Patriot
what you
fans
know.
are going to be pissed.
If Bill takes a receiver, don't draft him on your fantasy team.
Right. Right. Did they went out and got somebody? Who'd they get?
That's a winning tip right there. If Bill drafts a receiver, you don't want him.
Who are the Patriots for a receiver?
Yeah.
They picked up somebody recently.
Go look at all the receivers Bill Belichick has drafted, Brandon.
Yeah, they've all gone there to die somehow, even with Tom Brady there. Doesn't make any sense.
Lambs to the slaughter.
Oh, they got Devontae Parker.
Oh, there we go. Okay.
You know what I liked you said on the newest podcast, Adam? I thought this was really wise, and you just kind of went right past it. But you talked about how Brady's consistency. And this popped into my mind while I was on my bike. I was like, you know, a lot of guys, you watch their highlights and you're like, cool highlights. You know what you don't with Brady? Think of all of his amazing big plays and throws. You just think of him hoisting trophies and celebrating after wins because he just does the right thing. He takes the right path over and over and over. That's what you want. And I think Geno can be that a little bit.
Yeah, for sure. He plays very much the same way within the structure of the offense and is on time and everything. And I mean, this is one of the big reasons I was out on the Richardson thing was because when I'm watching the college quarterbacks, I watch every throw. Like I don't just throw on a highlight tape. Like I go and I watch every throw. Like if it's a miss, like what was the quality of the miss? That sort of thing. And that was the difference between Josh Allen and Richardson to me is Josh Allen, the quality of the misses were way better. So I want to see the guys that can be more consistent down in, down out, because like I said on the pod, you know, the difference between bad and good is consistency, and the difference between good and great is consistency. And I can't stand inconsistent quarterbacks that's the thing with the Richardson tape. There's just too many damn uncorkers. Like it just, wild Trey Lance style misses.
Jeff, not impressed by the Van Ness highlights.
Okay.
But that got me excited when you said that. Yeah, Brady, all these years, you don't think highlights. You just think about him winning. And Geno can do that. Geno just makes the thing work. I'm not saying he's Brady. Of course, I'm not trying to say that Geno's Brady. I'm just thinking he can make it work consistently.
We've seen some highlight throws from Geno now.
Yeah.
There was a couple in that New Orleans game that got me straight out my chair.
That dime that he threw to Tyler in the end zone where he split the two safeties.
Oh, yeah.
Woo.
Broderick Jones. The tackles are going off the board.
Well, you gotta protect tiny hands. So
tiny hands need protection.
Can't just get him some small isotoners. Like you got to get him a tackle.
So a lot of people are eating it on this. Will Levis is definitely going in the top
number 2. Yeah.
Well, it was a Reddit post that got everybody hyped up
Yes!
that he was going early.
Yes, yeah.
And then a bunch of like crypto bros saw it on Reddit and they're like, "Oh, I'm going to bet Levis as a top quarterback off the board." And so
Yeah.
then the betting market started changing based off of these, few bets that came in.
and the Reddit name too was like, Spambot 463697. It wasn't even like it was Peter King on Reddit, or I don't know, just pick your Florio on Reddit or whoever, right?
Yeah.
I didn't see. I mean, he's got traits, but again, you talked about the consistency. He ruins drives with inaccurate throws.
Yep. And I'm super bothered by his deep ball. Just more often than not, it dies on him. Even with that big arm. I don't get it.
And the fact that if a guy's 10 yards away, he throws it to him like they're across the field.
Yeah, just guns it in there.
Yeah, this is the one concern I think that Scott brings up. Now, if you do have a really nice secondary, you're going to have guys to stop the run, because then teams are, what they're going to do.
Yeah.
And you have to be able to stop it.
But Spoon's good on those running to the outside. He's good.
That's true. I felt like on some of those outside runs, they were more toward Michael Jackson's side, where we saw some of those breakaway runs.
And if we had Sherman or Browner sitting there, that wouldn't have happened, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. It's going to be interesting. There's no way they don't come out of this draft with like at least 2 big defensive tackles.
Or we'll just go get big old Captain Thigharms back later on. Let him take a long vacation.
Maybe.
Just pick him up in camp.
It's not enough, though.
No. But we'll have Wags back.
It's true. And then we always look at it like every year that we're loading up this year to make sure to win the Super Bowl, right? Like they have a 2-3 year plan here, I'm sure. So maybe some of these issues they're
Super
looking
Bowl or
at.
bust, Adam. Stop it.
Oh, right. I'm sorry. That was idiotic. What was I thinking?
Mr. 05 Chuck Witherspoon, easily the number 1 corner. I think so.
I mean, the way that Christian Gonzalez is sliding down the board here, it's kind of feeling that way, doesn't it?
All the rest of the corners.
Yeah. But I felt like he was kind of the consensus guy talked about with Witherspoon up toward the top.
Yes. Yeah.
Well, I mean, you're looking out over the canyon there. You're way up on the mountain and you're dropping 2 rocks, and one of them's Levis, one of them's Gonzalez. We're trying to see which one falls faster.
Right. Let's see if gravity changes here.
I think Gonzalez comes off the board in the next 3 picks after the Jets. Commanders, Patriots, or Lions will take him.
Yeah. And the Lions, I guess.
I think
can't believe they didn't wait till 18 to try for Gibbs, that they had to go at 12. They must have heard whispers.
Maybe. I think
if that's your guy, why wait?
True. I think for Seahawks 17 here, now with them picking Witherspoon, I don't think you have to worry about Joey Porter Jr. anymore. And I do get the worry on that one too. Great football pedigree, but
no, we better not get any defensive backs before Saturday. No.
Wouldn't that be wild? After all these years of not picking a corner in the first round, they go back-to-back corner.
When we have Tariq Woolen.
When we've got Woolen.
Yeah. That would be god awful.
We just paid all this money to Love. Not all this money, but a fair amount. We're paying insane amounts to our starting safeties. Please, There's one request I have, and I'm all about best player available. Let's not get any defensive backs before Saturday now. You guys agree?
I'm with you.
Oh, and look at the guys who are still out there on the edge on the defensive line.
Oh, yeah. There's a lot of stuff.
I mean, Nolan Smith, Miles Murphy, Will McDonald.
Which one do you like between Murphy and McDonald, Brandon?
Probably Murphy.
How come?
Because
he's bigger, right?
I feel like he has like that little bit of extra twitch.
Oh, really? Okay, he's the bigger guy.
Yeah, he's got a little more power. 6'5", 275. Yeah, he's the bigger guy.
McDonald, I thought, was the bendy guy.
Yeah.
Okay.
Interesting.
All your guys' favorite, trait.
I felt like Murphy was kind of in that same range of Wilson.
Rank your trait.
They're a similar type, right?
Rank your trait buzzwords, Adam. Girthy, twitchy, bendy.
Which one has the longest levers?
Levers.
Wilson had some long levers.
He did.
Yeah, in soccer, levers means
so
opening up space for your to be able to spend money. So we used our Wilson, not that other Wilson. We used Russell Wilson. That was a lever we pulled so we could have these awesome drafts.
it's true fact. Pulled the ripcord on that.
The Jets should take Levis here.
You naughty boy.
That would be the biggest. That'd be the biggest poke in the eye to Zach Wilson ever.
And Aaron Rodgers.
Oh yeah. Oh,
That's
how
what we
salty
mean.
would Aaron be? Although
That's what we mean.
I mean, with him being like, oh, I don't know, I'm 90% retired every other day. Like, can you blame him?
So Mr. 05 Chuck, it really wants Murphy at 20. I'm kind of leaning that way. If it's Brian Branch, who I wanted earlier, I'm going to be really sad.
Why don't we let Jacob take the pick at 20? Because
he needs to.
He's still reeling from.
Yeah.
Jacob.
But who does Jacob Haas want at number 20? That's what I want to know.
Ask Jacob if he ever played sports with the guy who you never know if he was going to try on the next play or not. And then maybe he'll feel better about Carter.
Okay. That's fair.
I've coached a few of them. It's frustrating when you're trying to find candles and flamethrowers to light under people's shorts.
Yeah.
No,
that's tough.
I'd give up the 20th pick just to see the Jets take Levis.
People loved your suggestion.
Can you imagine,
Brandon?
Can you imagine these guys with these huge jet chains? Like, just how sad they'd be. Sad jet face is always fun.
I think Nate shoots. I think that if the Seahawks were to take a quarterback at 20, I think Hooker would be the guy.
It would have to be.
I'm leaning that way because I don't like Levis and I kind of like Hooker a little more. I just don't know what Schneider, if he thinks something about Levis or not.
I don't think they're that concerned about this quarterback of the future thing. It totally feels. I mean, I get it. They went around, they did the selfie tour, all that, but I don't think they're that invested in the idea.
All right. I see somebody saying no in the chat. So
no in the chat for what? Hooker?
Oh, I guess I don't know what the no was. I was assuming it was maybe that somebody that they wanted the Jets took here at 15 now that the pick is in.
So do you like?
Because I know y'all are out on Twitter trying to find where the tipped picks are. I would normally do that, but I have enough stuff up in front of me that I'm just watching the broadcast.
Good. I'm glad you have troubles multitasking too, because this was a lot for me. I had the struggles early. Yeah, before you got here. I needed my captain.
Okay, so Brandon, if you could have JSN, Meyer, or Kincaid, who would you take?
I think JSN.
So you want the quality receiver. He was amazing in 2020.
I told you I wanted Zay Flowers, but you didn't have him listed.
No, I didn't put him in there on purpose because we already know you want Zay Flowers.
Yeah. Ooh, who we got?
Look who we got.
They're going to take Meyer. Oh, there he is. He's out
from Napa.
I'm giving live reports from Napa, boys. How we doing?
Good. It's nice to see you all sun-kissed and happy. Like, how you feeling with Witherspoon, bud?
Not the pick I wanted. Maybe the pick we needed. I don't know, guys. Like, he's a heck of a player. Let's go. Let's, him and Witherspoon, you talked about it, Adam, last week, being like, hey, if that's where we go, then so be it. Let's buckle up and get two shutdown corners, right? So I can learn to love it. The 20 pick will be super interesting. Still hoping we get some offensive weapon, but different than what I thought. What have you guys been sharing?
Well, you're going more mid. Adam guessed that Brandon might go mid, and Brandon was stoked. I feel like we took the defensive backfield to the top end, like to if we were rating our confidence, they're a 9 now. Like we might have with Love, our 2 corners, our stud safeties, we could have the best defensive backfield in the whole NFL now.
That's a fair point, and the league likes to throw the ball, right? So interesting. I mean, man, the Eagles trading back up to go get Carter, like, stings a little bit at least. But I mean, so Brandon, you loving it? Like that's a 9 or a 10 for you?
Well, I'll say it just because you weren't here to hear it, but they had Witherspoon in, they had Carter in, they had both guys into the building.
True.
To do the building test that they like to run guys through. And if Witherspoon was the guy that came out, and like Phil's saying, you take a position group, and turn it to 11, and that I think when you're thinking of moves that tilt the field, why not go that way? Because then teams are coming in going, okay, this is the secondary that we have to face, and how are we going to handle that now? It really requires the Seahawks to then be able to stop the run.
Yeah.
And now I hope that they go with guys that they can do that with.
Yeah. No, that's fair. I mean, I was professing for getting a wide receiver 3, but to do the same exact thing, right? Be like, hey, take the group and get to outstanding. So I could be grounded in that logic and be happy with it. So it'll be interesting. So
groups. We could still do that with both groups by taking a pass catcher at 20. Then we have defensive backs, great receivers. Very possibly we could do that.
I don't disagree. So Adam, is that a victory cigar, or is that just we'll see?
Oh, everything's a victory cigar when it comes to the Seahawks, but I love it.
Let's go.
I had talked myself into this idea 2 weeks ago, then talked myself out of it. So it was very easy to talk myself back into it. And now I will love it. I will love it easily if they go out and they get me a couple big, beefy defensive tackles to plug up the middle. That's it. I don't need them to be pass rushers. Just be stout block eaters. That's all I want.
Yeah. That sounds like some Mazzie Smith maybe at 37, possibly if he lasts. Dudes, I got to run. I just wanted to check in. Having a great time out here. I'm just going to see what. I'm inside a cave, literally. There's no service, so I came back out here to check in and just see what's up. But I'll bounce back out and see what we do at 20. But see you dudes soon, guys. Go Hawks!
All right, go Hawks!
Go Hawks, bud.
Bye.
Did you guys see this Make-A-Wish kid that got up there for the Jets pick?
I was loving it.
That was awesome. Our whole family was enjoying that.
Yeah, he was fired up, man. He's goading the crowd, getting into it. Yeah, that was great TV.
But he took one of the guys we wanted. But
yeah, Will McDonald off the board. Randy Kidd saying, I've been trying hard to justify the Witherspoon pick. We are quite good at safety and pretty good at corner. Maybe leaving the corners in man, single or double high safety, and safety as spy. I think what it feels like is with this Witherspoon pick, they have a plan of doing some fun things on the back end of this defense.
Yeah.
And this is an upgrade over having Browner and Sherm, or, Sherman, whoever was playing opposite. And then
it is.
Yeah, I'm excited about it.
This is a well thought out message that Kid put on there. I like where their head's at on that one.
Well, the other thing, too, that you can think about with them being able to play like straight up man on the outside and lock them up in single coverage, now that frees up your other interior pass defenders to help stop freaking tight ends and stop getting torn up over the middle. And then with all of those in-breaking routes that the 49ers just filleted us with in the playoff game. Like that was... Now, they got to also make sure that they put Tariq Woolen out there and don't make him play outside leverage the whole time and never let him try to jump some of those. But it could help the interior pass defense, which has been a problem for years.
Yeah. All right. I've got news, Phil. I don't know if you've seen this in the chat. We won Jacob over. We did it.
We did it. Mission accomplished.
He's starting to get into it. Just took a few thoughts on there. Some people had some good chat thoughts in there. I agree. Plus, I mean, that position, you're bound to get dinged up here and there, and we have quality depth. We're not going to be I feel like we're going to be good at corner throughout the year with this situation. And when everybody's healthy, we are going to rock. I hate it when corners allow quarterbacks, and most of them all are mediocre in the NFC or worse. I hate it when corners allow quarterbacks to make easy throws. Drives me nuts. And there will not be easy throws to the outside against our team when our defensive backs are healthy this year. And so it's going to take some good throws to beat us.
Is there a world in which the pass coverage being great, because we just talked about earlier in the coverage here about the idea, well, if you're really great in the secondary, then they're just going to run the ball, and then you're screwed because we haven't really addressed that. But what if making the teams all one-dimensional, basically, because they're like, oh my gosh, we're not throwing against those guys if we don't have to. If you make them one-dimensional, then it takes some of the guesswork out, and then maybe your run fits are a little better.
Yeah. Well, and if you're running single high, they're definitely better. You got 8 guys to stop them with. Right?
Yeah. I mean, that was just my little theory there that I cooked up in the last 30 seconds.
Yeah, maybe they would be. Yeah,
it's all right, Jacob. Often us 12s feel confused when Schneider is doing the drafting, and then it all works out in the end.
Yeah.
If we hadn't have gone through that scenario of, hey, what if they do go corner? Because it's something that I feel like you and I have put off whenever anybody has mocked a corner to the Seahawks in previous years, saying, you know what, why would they do that when they've found those guys later on?
Yeah.
There was a lot of guys on field goals that were like, I'd love to see us get Witherspoon. He's a Seahawk. I love his style. It's just not happening. And I was pretty well convinced by their arguments. Pete and John aren't taking one. We like to use Master Yoda of the corners as our special secret skill. And so we're not taking one. But tons of people loved him and thought he was the ideal Seahawk.
And another example of where everything Pete and John were doing and saying and all that stuff, smokescreen.
Yeah, as usual.
Smokescreen.
Yeah, as usual. So they got the
they
go at Forbes. So Gonzalez is still on the board.
Wow.
Ooh.
The pundits were wrong.
You know, I'd seen the quarterbacks mixed up a lot on different people's boards and that sort of thing. So I don't know that it's that crazy, but
well, and I'm thinking too with
I thought Keely Ringo was ahead of him and Gonzalez.
Maybe.
And Brian Branch.
Yeah, well, isn't he safety?
He's safety, but he can play a little nickel. I thought he would go off the board ahead of Forbes even.
Interesting.
I guess Forbes and Joey Porter and Keely Ringo were all right there in the same area.
Yeah. And we're getting to the point in the first round too where a lot of those guys, it's just kind of
your flavor.
What's your flavor?
What's your flavor? Personality driven.
What are the odds we trade down?
I mean,
67%.
Oh,
they are feeling high kind of
2
right
out of 3.
Yeah.
But still a lot of defensive line, interior offensive line.
Yeah, there's a lot of players that could help us here. I've been wanting Michael Mayer for a while, but now I'm like, there's a lot of players on here I'd like.
Mayer's kind of your draft crush. I'm getting a sense of.
Yeah, I just think he could be. I really think he could be our Kittle. I kind of do.
Yeah.
I mean, how much of an upgrade is that over what we have, like as a combined unit?
Oh, it's an upgrade if he's an all-pro or all-pro.
He's an upgrade.
Is he?
But I don't know if he would be.
It could be.
Okay, Adam, put Kittle on our team. Are we a lot more dynamic offense?
I'm not talking Kittle. I'm talking Mayer, right? Like,
but he's saying that he could be that guy. Yeah.
I feel like he could be that good.
Mm.
So you said how much of an upgrade would that matter when I was talking about Kittle, and I was like, if he could become that, are you saying that our offense wouldn't be better with someone like Kittle on our team? I could be totally wrong on my diagnosis of Mayer.
Yeah. I mean, of course, you can't say that your team would be worse with George Kittle. Like that's just it's ludicrous to say. So, yeah, I can't disagree with you. I can't. That's solid logic. You got me.
Hey, look at me, though. I still called Gonzalez off the board on the next 3 picks, and There
You
he
got
goes.
him.
All right. Bill Belichick with another corner
Those
and a
picks
pissed
usually
off
work
Mac
out.
Jones.
Those picks usually work out for him.
Lions back on the clock.
Yeah.
I feel like the Lions have had a lot of time on the clock this
'Cause
draft
they
already.
already had 2 and then they traded, right?
Right.
And so your feeling is right.
Defensive
Wasn't some of this
line.
draft capital out of the Goff trade?
Oh, well, yeah. Having the that early pick was from the Goff trade. They had the Rams pick.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'll want to take a moment here and just enjoy the fact that the Niners and Rams are just sitting at home sucking it right now. Like,
Be sure,
no picks.
Be sure and ask your Niners fan friends
Tonight.
and people who tangentially know the 1 or 2 Rams fans, how they feel about their first round pick.
Talk
after
to him
the night.
tonight, tomorrow at work.
Yeah, tomorrow
you
at work, hit them up, say, hey, how'd your team do?
That was fun.
Yeah.
First
That was
time
a
was
cool-
fun.
It was a cool first round. Yeah. Yeah.
If I was back at UPS, I know I'd be doing it. There's a few Niner fans that drove me nuts. I mean, I had a blast with them because they're
Oh,
really
for sure.
fun, but
Yeah.
this would have been great.
Might be about 25 years too late, Randy.
Max Strong, the greatest football name of all time.
And a nice dude.
Yeah.
Yeah. He was one of my faves. I wish the fullback wasn't phased out of football, man. I really wish. It might come back though, with the league kind of seemingly starting to verge back to the
Shanahan
renegade a
uses
bit.
him. Shanahan uses him.
If you want a guy who can play fullback and center, go with Whippler out of Ohio State.
Oh yeah.
Look at all of the CJ Stroud runs where he's run, and it'll be a Stroud run to the outside, and it's Whippler
In the
as
backfield?
the lead block coming from the
Okay.
center spot.
Okay. Now I get you.
It's a good pulling center.
He's a great pulling center.
But you like how Shanahan uses juice, Adam?
Oh, Juszczyk?
Yeah.
I wish. Yeah, I do. I actually do. I like the way that they use Juszczyk for sure. But I don't want to say that out loud in public like that. Like, thanks a lot for putting me in that position. I just had to admit George Kittle makes teams better.
Yeah.
And then I like the way that
Ruining the whole
Shanahan likes Juszczyk. Wait, you want me to say I like Shanahan's hair next?
No.
Is that it?
No, talk about his hair. That's what we'd enjoy.
Yeah.
I'm going to stop bringing up those players.
Yeah. I don't want to talk about the Niners today, other
Those
than
are
the fact
ones
that
we
they don't
wanna
get to
tap.
pick.
You want to
Screw
speed
them.
them down and overcome them. Or the
Yeah.
I
Niners.
like this comment though. Most of my Niner fan friends couldn't name a player on the team that have all their gear.
True. Very true.
That's funny. Yeah.
John
Yeah, so
Michael
just-
Schmitz here at 20. Couldn't be mad at that.
That's seems early, but
It seems a little early.
He's
Ryan
a center,
Curtin's
right?
in.
John Jacob
John Michael
Schmidt.
Yep. John Michael Schmitz. The
We have a
center.
center.
and Tipman, right?
You heard John and Pete say in their presser that they view Evan Brown as a center.
It doesn't necessarily mean that he's going to be the starting center. I would personally go guard if we're going to go with somebody at 20.
Yeah.
But who would
I'm
that
still,
be?
hey, I'm telling you,
Trent?
man, if DeJuan Jones is there at 20 and they draft him and move him to guard, I would be elated.
Ooh,
That would be a great pick in my opinion.
another guy that they had into the building too.
Mm-hmm.
They usually take about an average of 2 of the guys they bring on their top 30s.
But also sometimes they have guys from the top 30 and they pick one of their teammates. You know, like with Kobe last year, they brought in Sauce Gardner to the building, end up picking Kobe.
Yeah, true.
You bring in DeJuan Jones, you end up taking Luke Whippler.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm not against them taking a center because we only even have Evan Brown for 1 year anyway. So
Yeah.
I could see Mozzie Smith around 37 to 52 in that area.
Is 22 high for Mozzie? I know a lot of people really like him.
He's a run stuffer.
Yeah, no, I like
It's
that.
not too high if they love the guy.
Yeah, I know.
Don't wait till the second round if you're sold on him being a dude.
It's like buying a ring that's too big for the lady you love, right?
Yeah.
You just can't really do it if you really love them, you know.
I want a difference maker at 20. I don't want to.
You don't think a run stuffing tackle would be a difference maker on this team?
You need to stop the run. We just picked the corner with the first pick.
Yeah, I mean, you guys, points well taken. I just feel like there's a lot of run. Mozzie's the best one, but I feel like the step down from Mozzie isn't near as big as it is from these playmakers.
Those ledges John talks about.
The playmakers, I feel like.
Oh, I was trying to. Yeah, I was trying to remember this name.
Pass catcher. What?
Oh, Nate in his comment here. Like I was trying to the Torrance. Is it Osiris Torrance? Is that it?
Yes, that's right.
Torrance,
yeah.
And then there's Cody Mock on the board too, who can play tackle, who can play guard, who can play center. Like he's like a full plethora.
He can give Dennis a lot of business.
A lot of people love him. Do we? Yeah. Hopefully he's not a jack of all trades, master of none, though.
Yeah.
I don't know. He won chips there at North Dakota State.
Because we have Jake Curran to do the backup jack of all trades. If Torrance is going to be a star guard, yeah, let's do it. But if he's like, oh, he's pretty good at everything, but he wouldn't be a top starter at anything. Do you really want to take a guard in the first round if he's not? I'm just throwing stuff out there, being a jerk.
Yeah, you're working through the thought process, and that's what 2 hour and 15-minute live stream comes to, right? Like it's a lot of stream of consciousness kind of thing. So yeah.
Mr. Five Chuck saying Torrance not for our scheme.
Okay.
Alex saying Mock is a legit Viking.
Yeah, kind of. Yeah.
Like he needs to play for the Vikings, or he would be tough like a Viking.
Yes.
Okay.
It makes sense for a legit Viking to go to the Vikings, though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm down with a Viking on our team.
No Cody's club. Do we not pick Cody's in Seattle?
Cody Barton.
Yeah.
He ruined it for everybody.
They got a bad taste on the Cody.
Yeah.
Well, Bobby Wagner will wash that out.
Well, let's hope so. I think it's
eye.
reasonable to assume that he's going to play pretty close to the level that he played to last year. I think that's reasonable.
Garen's back. Hey, Garen.
Made it.
So
all right.
Remember, if you're going through North Idaho, you got to get your guaranteed barbecue.
Surely do.
Lions want a tight end. They're going to take my guy, aren't they?
They got rid of Hawkinson last year.
Yeah. That can make a lot of sense here.
No. Jack Campbell.
Really?
The tackling linebacker. That's quicker than I thought, but
don't they have the flowing mane linebacker there, the guy with the big long blonde locks that I like? Gosh, what's his name? I can't think of it for the life of me. He's a thumper though. I wonder how many kneecaps he can eat.
Yeah, Garen, where are you located at North Idaho? Where?
Kellogg.
It's in Kellogg.
I want to say it's closest to the second exit if you're heading west on I-90.
That's less than an hour away from me.
Hooker or Levis, switch at 37 if you must.
Hooker.
I would be totally down with Hooker at 37. I want to get better this year with 20. That's just me, but that doesn't mean that's the right choice. I'm just greedy.
One of the Smiths, Ryan saying Nolan or Mozzie.
Okay.
So with Nolan Smith, the production not super high and kind of a little guy. And I'm tired of being bullied. Tired of being bullied. Like I want some.
Well, with Miles Murphy still on the board, that makes a little more sense. If you're looking for somebody with a little more beef.
Yeah, man.
I'm down with the Miles Murphy, but interesting fit. But
no, Bucks are already got their pick in. They're taking Levis.
Yeah.
Oh,
I don't know how many times I can get that wrong today, but I'm gonna
just
throw it out there.
Their Chargers are on the clock. Oh, they're taking Levis.
They're taking Levis.
That would be dumb. No, this one makes sense actually. Here, Hooker or Levis.
They got Baker.
Hooker or Levis.
Are you ready to stop loving Baker yet?
Yeah.
Don't stop
Okay.
believing.
Hey, Seahawks 17 in with the 220 Canadian super chat. Thanks, guys.
Dude.
Keep up the good work. Thanks, Seahawks 17.
Much appreciated. And I also appreciate the Tampa Bay Buccaneers for not wasting our time so that we can be on the clock again.
Yes, we're coming up now.
Yeah. I didn't
The
know if
pick
it was
is
ever going to
in.
get there.
I think we'll take Jackson Smith and Jigba.
Ooh.
Jigba.
Are you tipping?
It's fun to
the pick?
say.
I'm not tipping the pick.
Okay.
That's my guess.
Okay.
If Adam is right and the Bucks took a quarterback. They're not going to take a receiver though.
Gosh,
It's
with
gonna be
so many guys still on the board here. Just trading down
Yeah, makes a lot of sense.
makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
Who are you going to trade with?
Vikings would be nice because that's not too far.
I'm
feel
trying
like
to
we
figure out
trade
the
with them
points
quite a
right now,
bit.
what we could get for Vikings. I mean, you're only going to get a 4th rounder probably.
Who's
Maybe
somebody that the Cowboys might want to trade up for to get ahead of the Giants?
What if the Chiefs want to come up from the end of the round?
Yeah.
Then we could get there into the 2nd round pick.
I don't want to go too far back though.
Yeah. But if you like, 12 guys, I was more interested in dropping at 5 than I'm a little more nervous. Well, also because you don't get as much, but I would be fine with it. Get another 4th.
JR in with the 20 for 20.
Coming in hot.
Pick number 20 coming up and coming in with a $20 super chat.
Pick 20.
Now we just need 20 people to do that same thing, JR. And
how about all the 44s you got, Brandon? You get a bunch of 44s?
For my birthday? No.
Yeah.
No.
They all forgot. Kalijah, I liked him too. But he's a little more of a disruptor than a run stuffer.
Right. That was my sense of him. And that was the only reason I was like, maybe not so much.
We do need guys that are solid at stopping the run.
He's crafty. He's crafty. Yeah, a lot of people said he was compared to Aaron Donald. He does Aaron Donald stuff.
Yeah.
It's weird how a ton of defensive tackles that get drafted in the 1st round get compared to Aaron Donald.
If they're small. If they're a smaller defensive tackle, like he could be Aaron Donald.
I suppose coming out of Pittsburgh, also you would
Yeah,
draw
there's
that
that.
comparison, right?
Yeah.
Puda Ford, also short. He's just like Aaron Donald.
But long like Wilson.
Right.
I mean, just being a smaller defensive tackle out of Pitt that's drafted I feel like you should be drafted sooner.
Look at the measurables.
Wow. I didn't realize they were that close.
Yeah. They've been saying that over and over. Plus the disruptive, how quick he is to slice in there. The discipline was a concern, or he would have gone even higher. Not discipline of loving football, but like discipline in his gaps and such.
Gotcha.
SM Vegas 83.
Yeah, I
That's
kind of
his
like
guy. Draft crush off the board for him.
he might have been a DeJuan Jones duplicate, right?
Yeah.
I mean, maybe we feel like we have these kind of players, the Jaron Reed, DeJuan Jones disruptive tackles.
Hard telling.
We know who
about to
Carly
find out,
doesn't
though.
want to see.
What's that?
We know who Carly doesn't want at this pick.
All of us. All of
No.
us. Carly is all of us right now. I think.
If the Bucks didn't want Levis, I'll tell you what. Seahawks are going to take Levis right here. That's what's going to happen.
Thank you, Adams.
Yeah.
Good call.
Yeah.
That's the
I
best
channel
thing
my
you've
inner
ever said.
DCH there.
That's
the
the
reverse
best thing
jinx
you've
in.
ever
Reverse jinx it.
said. Tell you what. This better not be the time you're right, Adam.
Oh, gosh, I hope not.
Ryan Thresher, Darnell Washington. Now, would you be, if they went tight end, but they didn't take your guy?
I
There's
mean,
a lot of people that like him more.
I like the all-around guy. Washington is a slightly better blocker. Kincaid's is a
Just
dynamic,
wasn't
fast
asked
guy.
to catch a lot, though.
Kincaid's a fast guy.
Yeah.
Mayer is like breaking tackles, awesome soft hands. He's also totally solid in the protection or the run blocking game.
Oh, you're thinking Kincaid. I was thinking Washington.
Kincaid's a fast guy.
Yeah,
Washington's the blocker.
he's the blocker.
Yeah.
But he's projected in the, oh, no, I guess he's maybe projected a little bit farther down.
Yeah, I'm down with Washington for later
Yeah.
on. I would not want him at 20. I don't think you get a blocking tight end at 20. That'd be weird to me.
Yeah, that does feel odd.
I mean,
Ryan
we got
Miles Murphy.
I
We
wouldn't
have
be
that.
sad.
Yeah, I wouldn't be sad with Miles Murphy at all. I wouldn't
There
be
you
sad
go,
with a lot
Garen.
of
Garen's on the
Zay.
page.
Oh,
with
yeah.
me. Now if
Brandon.
they go Devin Witherspoon with 5 and then Zay Flowers at 20.
It's Brandon Day. We'll call it official Brandon Day if that happens. Get both your guys.
That'd be wild. Go secondary again. Go Brian Branch.
Come on now. I might.
Don't be mean.
Was that worse than Levis? I don't know.
It would
No.
be weird, but he's so
It'd be
good,
weirder
though.
than getting Levis.
Because he would still be able to see the field. Levis isn't going to see the field.
Yeah.
Brian Branch is going to be a difference maker on special teams this year.
Be more than Levis would
Yeah.
do.
That's true. Well, that's what I was telling people who wanted the Anthony Richardson pick. What is he going to do this year
Yeah, I know.
Or next
Special
year.
packages.
or next year, or like you said, over next year?
Yeah, I just
Special packages, Brandon,
we'll never know though, because he did go
to the Colts.
at 4. And so the people that said they would take him at 5, you never know if they were right or wrong.
I think we're going to trade down, aren't we?
Seahawks are going to take all the clock either way.
There's
Yeah,
so
thanks a
many-
lot. It's still cold in here, guys. Come on, Seattle. Let's go.
We better not get Joey Porter Jr. Well, Jordan Addison's the tall receiver. Zay is your yak guy.
Uh-huh.
Jackson Smith and Jigba's the guy that always gets open. He's always open.
I like that.
I like that.
I don't need a receiver here. I just feel like college receivers are a dime a dozen these days. It's a new running back.
Okay. I cannot agree with that, but that's okay.
That's okay.
There's a bunch of dime a dozen ones. There's tons of those. There's a few difference makers. Like this guy's going to get open. I want one.
Interior O-line, defensive line.
Yeah.
Zay Flowers.
I don't want a linebacker here yet. I'm with Adam on that. Well, I think he convinced me on our last show. Let's wait a
Yeah.
little bit on
I
linebacker.
just think that linebacker is one of those spots where, I mean, unless you're getting a top dude, that
Which doesn't exist in this draft.
it doesn't seem like it does.
Now, the most fun player in the draft from Washington State.
Yes. Yeah, I want that guy. I can't remember his name right now, but yeah, the Washington State linebacker.
It's a strange name for the first part. Let's see. I'm looking for him.
ESPN analytics say that it was a 1.1% chance that Will Levis would have been available at 20.
Oh,
I'm not sure that I agree with that analytics there.
Diane Henley.
all right.
Henley is the
Henley, yeah.
soundbite master.
Oh, okay.
The young Charles Barkley.
Yeah, he's fun.
Look at them 12s getting down.
Here we go. There's Captain
There's-
Seahawk.
Yep.
All right, just make sure you get your pick in though before the clock expires.
We have to drop down. That'd be dumb.
There are no timeouts. You can't call a timeout here, Pete.
No,
We're not
Pete would waste a challenge here. That's
not
what he would do. Like,
Well, it's not a quarterback. They wouldn't have taken this long on a quarterback.
oh, the pick is in. They did not trade back.
I feel comfortable. It's not Levis.
Now we
Mel's
got people in the
talking.
chat
What's his
helping
name?
us out with Henley's name. Yep.
You want Henley?
No, I just we were asking for the name, and
Yeah.
people are coming in with
They're
with
blasting
Henley.
us with
Yeah.
Henley, yeah. John doesn't
No,
like
timeout.
I
They
don't
got the
like
pick
when
in.
John isn't cheering and hugging and being excited. That's not great.
Yeah, they look a little nervous.
Something didn't happen how they wanted. That's what they look like at the LJ Collier pick, and now I want to barf.
They couldn't get a trade done, and
they
he's
just pulled the
disappointed.
trigger. There's a lot of guys I'll be excited to hear right now. I'm afraid it's going to be like we're going to be looking down. What? Where? What? This is the pick in the 20s where we're like, what was that name?
There they are. See, now they're clapping.
Are they? I don't see it on.
Yeah.
Oh, are you on NFL or ESPN?
I'm on ESPN.
Okay.
Okay, I'm on ESPN.
Yeah, me too. I see Bucky Brooks.
Yeah, I see Mel and Greeny.
One of the best parts of tonight was having Mel on mute. This has been great.
Yeah, just watching him do his stares.
Mhm.
These guys don't look like they're having fun at all to me.
No.
Are you guys nervous? I'm like,
Yeah, I'm way nervous, dude. I'm sitting here
why am I
like
so
on the edge of my chair.
It felt like this was the pick to trade, and yeah, maybe
they
they
must have
couldn't
really
get it done.
wanted to. I'm with Scoot because they didn't look stoked. Like someone let him down. He was like throwing his cell phone down on the table.
Yeah. Well, that could have been. It could have been you just trying to get that trade in at the.
And they were bringing in all these kids, so that took them a while to tell us what it is, so we could be more.
Oh, what happens if you're those kids and they trade back? You just go home
No,
later on?
They'd probably get to do that one too. Okay, let's hear it. The flag football.
Look at all these kids up on stage.
Yeah. Everybody's nervous because this is in the 20s. We usually get that name like, what?
It's true.
I feel like every other slot, John's one of the best. Nope, it is Jansen. I was right. Isn't this who I said a couple picks ago we were going to get?
It was one of the names that you threw out there. I mean,
that's the one that I think we're taking. Okay, you're going to love this guy, Adam. Watch.
He better be better than freaking D. Eskridge, then. Like,
no, not even the same type of thing. You're going to love this guy.
Yeah. Does he tackle running backs?
Probably not.
Yeah.
He's probably the perfect heir apparent to Tyler.
We did. I get it. I know that we needed some depth at wide receiver. But like no Miles Murphy? Are we sure? Like that,
yeah,
I think we're going to be looking at that one for a while.
Okay. I did really want this guy. I thought he was going to go earlier, actually. And then
hey, Gino wanted weapons. Gino wanted weapons, guys. Here you go.
Watch a guy make run routes. This is what you're going to want to see. Put him anywhere.
I mean, he's not Zay Flowers, but
yeah, Zay Flowers is a little more of the yak.
Although, see, the thing about JSN, I mean, dude had what was it?
The 300 yards in the playoff game.
Yeah, with Olave on the team and the other freaky receiver that came out of Ohio State.
He has some swagger too.
Are we just going to try to outscore people, force them to throw, and then they have to throw into the teeth of the,
we still got other picks.
We're going to stop their receivers.
I know.
We're going to stop their receivers, and nobody's going to stop ours. That's what it is. The problem is
okay.
Go ahead.
Make the case here. If you're picking at another position on the offensive line, on the defensive line, you're not getting the top guy at the position that you are here.
That's right.
Number one receiver on the board.
At one of the highest paid positions in football.
Definitely not getting pigeonholed by need.
Garrett Wilson. Garrett Wilson was the other guy on Ohio State.
He was the number one, like Jackson Bevins is going to be screaming. He's dying for this guy. He's been just hoping and hoping. He's the number one guy on a lot of people's board for receiver.
You know who else is going to be just stoked, and I can't believe he hasn't popped in quite yet?
Gino?
Clinton Bonner.
Clinton, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah, when's Gino popping on?
Yeah.
Gino's going to get his bonus now. How's he not going to get all of his stat bonuses with 3 amazing receivers?
It's true.
Yeah, we did. We got the number one corner, number one receiver, and those are 2 of the top 5 premium positions in the NFL. Good call, Carly.
It's true.
Man.
It's true.
Tyler Lockett, DK Metcalf, Jackson Smith, and Jigba.
I love it. I do love it. Now we go D-line.
Ryan Curtin in the chat.
The way that
Pete Prisco gives us a B for that pick. That's a good sign.
Okay, we're probably not coming back in, I wouldn't think.
No,
Oh,
probably
here he is.
not.
He's talking.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it does feel like going defense now. Or going center. I mean, we still got centers on the board. Yeah. Poop dog. D'Esker just toast. Bye-bye.
Yeah, that was one I was super excited for. I thought he was going to be good. I was dead wrong on that one. And it also feels like this pick is a little bit of making up for the Eskridge pick.
Yeah, that's
at the end
problem.
of the day. Maybe that's why John was pissed. Threw down his phone. It was like, couldn't trade. Fine.
Well, they probably it could have. Maybe they thought that they could get him a little bit farther down the board if he was the guy that they were going to try and take anyway. But this is another one of those picks where you think about the Seahawks type traits, and a guy who fought through injury that 2022 season. And so he didn't get to play a whole lot, but if they tend to like those guys who have fought through and recovered from injuries, and to see, are they really those types of guys who want to play ball?
Yeah.
The interesting thing here though is
Ohio
you
State
think would this be the first Seahawks receiver that's maybe not a 4.4 speed guy?
Oh, I want to check.
What did he run?
I don't think he did run because he was
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because he was hurt.
Yeah.
So he would be I'd have to
But he's not a burner in that sense.
Right. Not your classic burner.
Yeah.
All right. Chargers pick is in. Will Levis goes right here.
Here it is. Well, good call on the Levis pick. I'm glad he did that, Adam. He was generally ranked. JSN was generally ranked between 10 and 22. I mean, this is John going for top guys on the board, which I kind of like that. I wonder if this is the Jody push in the room the last couple of years.
Best DB and best WR. Is this about money? Adam, you said passing game is what costs money.
It does. It does. Edge costs money. Quality defensive tackles cost money. But yeah, does your third receiver usually cost you a ton of money? I don't know. Yeah. We talked about the luxury pick idea, right? And I kind of felt like the fifth pick was an advantage pick. Like you needed to, get a dude. And I think they did with Witherspoon. I feel good about that. And that 20 was more the luxury pick. And if that's the case, then here you go. Wide receiver to me, that was a luxury position to pick at.
Good call. And I was thinking with our confidence ratings, those were the two places we thought we could take it to tops in the league was receiver and DB. Those were the two areas. If we picked them, that was our best crack at getting 9 out of 9.
Yeah.
With those areas. So maybe that's what they decided to roll with. Let's make our strength just a dominant elite strength. Plus, he's not a number 3 receiver. He's going to be another number 1 if he becomes who they expect he can become in the next couple of years.
Yeah, it's interesting because everything I've heard was that he's a slot guy.
I think he's like Tyler, where you think of him as a slot guy, but can play multiple spots. Yeah. So just looking at his stat line for 2021,
that's
95 receptions.
Okay.
On 112 targets.
Okay. Catches the ball
a little bit.
Is that like 1,600
1,595 yards.
Yeah.
All right. Okay.
16.8
yards per catch.
That's not a slot guy. 16.8 yards per
9 touchdowns. And not only 16.8, but 4.01 yards per route run, which actually was higher than both Garrett Wilson and Chris Olave that same year.
Okay, well, they do like them, the explosive players, you know. They talked about that a lot when they brought in Percy Harvin. The idea of you can't have enough guys that are explosive and can take it to the house. And I mean, JSN's one of those guys. So
Another
So
one
the
of
only
his
reason you're not stoked is because of needs another position, Adam. Is that it?
mainly, yeah.
and he's not Zay Flowers. I mean,
Yeah.
Right.
And-
And Brandon didn't get his perfect day. So we all got to lose a draft crush at some point here. But yeah, it hurts my feelings like deeply on the inside when we get bullied with the run game. And that's what the Niners are. And that they swept us this year. And I can't get that taste out of my mouth. And it drives me nuts.
yeah, with you having watched that Niners game so recently, I could see how that would bother you.
Oh, being just only down 7 at the start of the fourth, leading a half.
And like Alex is saying, isn't JSN closer to Baldwin than Tyler? And yeah, one of the scouting points on JSN is, you know, he has that. He doesn't go down with arm tackles after the catch, so he's a yards after the catch type guy. Like,
well, let me be clear. Let me be clear as well. I'm a huge JSN fan right now.
Yeah,
like, that happened just a few minutes ago.
You and Carly. I'm disappointed.
Exactly. Me and Carly are
convinced to love it.
Yep.
I'm pretty happy. This isn't how I thought it would go until we got closer to it, and then I was like, oh, he's still there. That would be a great fit. This is not coming into tonight how I thought the draft would go for sure, but I'm loving it more than I expected to. I'm pretty stoked. I mean, people win with passing games quite a bit. I mean, it drives me nuts not be able to stop the run, but I feel like we can. I feel like we can find players to stop the run. And I've been saying that all along. Saturday, we could find run stoppers. Definitely tomorrow night, we can find run stoppers. I feel very confident in that.
I'll feel a heck of a lot better if the 2 second-round picks manifest themselves into like 3 interior players.
Yeah.
Whether offensive line or defensive line. You said a lot of teams win with the passing game, and it's like, well, okay, but you can't win with the passing game if you're getting trounced in the trenches. Like, you just can't do it. The reason the Chiefs are able to win with the passing game is they've got Chris Jones, who is the biggest F the play up guy in the playoffs every year.
No, he's great. No, I would love Chris Jones.
Good night, Sven. Thanks for hanging in there.
Yeah, buddy. Appreciate you, Sven.
What's the overall feeling there in the chat, Brandon? Most people pretty happy or not?
I think so. I think there's people that are stoked. I think there's people that are a little disappointed. But the other thing that I think about, you know, I think back to that clip that we played from Gino, where he talked about telling Pete and letting him know there were some guys that he liked. And if Gino takes and gives us a team-friendly contract, and you can throw him a bone too by saying, okay, we'll get you a weapon in one of these first 3 picks.
Oh, yeah. Good idea.
Yeah.
Okay.
This will be good for Walker too, don't you? Couldn't you see the JSN pick being good for Walker?
Yeah.
I mean, that nickel is not going to be helping in the run game if he's in the slot or Tyler in the slot, nor are the safeties.
Well, it's definitely interesting. And it's one of those things where it seems like every year I'm like, no, why? No, don't do that. Don't do that. And then for the most part, 80 to 85% of the time, I'm like, oh, okay. So John knows what he's doing.
Yeah. I think he's leveraging it right. Like what a lot of the people are saying in the chat, get in the top corner, get the top receiver, because it drops off pretty good from there as far as Seahawk useful players this year. And there is a lot of beef we can get tomorrow and on Saturday. What
is BPA?
Best player available.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. It's a draft term.
That makes sense. Sure. Yeah. No wonder I didn't know it. Yeah.
Levers.
Sojin, I'm okay after having time to let it sink in, but I really want to stop the run and for all the people that are disappointed about that, I understand, because you go into the draft saying, I want this thing fixed. And the earliest time to fix it is in the first round. And then, like Jacob Haas points out, we still have 2 second-round picks. We still got day 3. So let's look at this draft as a whole once it's done and see how it looks then. Because it's easy to get down on them not fixing the areas that you want to see fixed right away.
Yeah, Shane, you should have that looked into, but that's not a good condition. I feel bad, man. You don't need this voice and them thoughts in your head. Nope.
Wow, Coug fan for real. I absolutely hate this draft. Throw the whole thing away. Waste of 2 firsts.
Ooh,
Okay, that's pretty strong.
That hurts me. Let's get Clinton on here.
I just texted him to just see if he was a happy boy. I'm sure he's deep in his conference and all that. Oh, he said he was in a cave. He probably doesn't even get it. He probably doesn't even know yet.
Yeah, he's gonna be dancing when he finds out. This is what he wanted more than anything.
I think we're gonna see a lot of what Coug fan is saying here is in the discourse over the next day. I think there's gonna be a lot of really pissed off 12s.
I think, yeah. Hey, there's 12s that wanted quarterback, and Coug fan might be one of those people that just is not in on Geno, because there's plenty of those Seahawks fans who wanted to see them come away with a quarterback in the first round.
True.
And with them having the opportunity and passing on it twice.
The top 3 centers are still on the board for tomorrow night, Brandon. I mean, I think Geno can have a phenomenal year if just one more player on the interior O-line, and this offense is stacked.
Yeah. I would be curious what Coug fan would, how he would, or which player available at 5 over Witherspoon was the better player available in his opinion. I'm just
either
curious.
Carter or one of the quarterbacks.
Okay.
But not to throw words in it, I just don't see his response.
That'd be your guess. Yeah,
that's a good question. I was thinking the same thing when he said that. I was like, who is a better player available than our 2 picks? I didn't really see that. I could see ones that you might like, but better.
I mean, Miles Murphy.
Yeah,
that's an argument.
He's a good player. Yeah,
that's an argument.
If I had
that's probably the one guy I was a little more disappointed that they didn't grab him at 20.
Oh, Brandon
went.
Zay Flowers is teaming up with Justin Jefferson up in Minnesota.
Here comes your yak guy.
No, Zay Flowers to the Ravens.
Oh, the Ravens. Oh,
yeah.
I got it mixed up. Yep.
Because they're showing Vikings on the clock. That's why.
Yep.
Yeah, just giving Lamar another weapon now that he's signed his new deal.
Yeah, that's nice. He finally gets a real receiver.
well, they just got OBJ Odell too.
Yeah.
That's might be. But it's a good day for Geno and Lamar.
Yeah, for sure.
I think Geno in fantasy draft this year, Brandon. How about you?
What's that, Lamar?
I think Geno in a fantasy draft this year.
Oh, yeah.
Wouldn't you?
How about this little run of receivers now that the Seahawks took?
We got the guy.
JSN off the board.
Yep. There's a balance there. Do you get the last guy of the top guys? There's a strategy in that. Or do you get the top guy of the top guys? I mean, sometimes either one of those, it's hard to figure out who's the real winner.
Sorry, I was reading this comment by Stu. After about a decade of watching Pete Carroll, John Schneider draft, I've learned one thing. I'm not a professional scout or GM, and they know better.
Yep.
You can have that attitude, but it's also fun if you think that you know better, and then you can put it out there and say I told you so a little while down the road too.
Overall, they've done well, but it's not that they're infallible either. Like there's room to be like,
they
what?
took D. Eskridge over Creed Humphrey.
And then Rashad Penny, like that was the one. Everybody that was mad about the D. Eskridge one, I was more mad about the Penny pick.
Yeah,
Penny's a good player if he didn't get hurt, and he was supposed to have the highest rated health rating in the draft or something for running backs, but didn't work.
Yeah, that's true.
I like Penny when he's out there healthy.
Yeah, it's true. And with Penny, it was more home run or nothing. Like that was my problem with Penny, and broken tackle statistics coming out of college. He led the whole NCAA, but they were all kind of weak sauce ankle tackles that count as a broken tackle. But you're like, is that beast mode type stuff? No,
he was bigger than all the linebackers in his league.
Yeah, he for some reason could never figure out how to play big.
Yeah,
it was a lot like Sean Alexander.
Yeah, no, he was. Just Alexander stayed healthy until he didn't.
Yeah.
Well, are
comp of
we,
Steve Smith?
What's that?
I love when they comp, guys to like all timers. Zay
I heard-
Flowers comps to Steve Smith.
That's
He's
what I
about
heard
half
about
the
Zay
weight.
all along too. Steve
That's
Smith.
what I was gonna say. Like Smith was like a tank compared to Zay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's a lot feistier too. He'd be like going off on him while they were talking to him right here if it was Steve Smith.
Shane
We know how
says,
Brandon
so
would feel.
Phil, Adam, Brandon, how would you have felt about John Michael Schmitz at 20? I just don't think center is that premium of a position. And just with the number of guys that are on the board, I've been okay with it. I like Whippler, and I think he's more of a second, third round guy. Tipman, I know, is another guy that people like at center. So I just don't know if it's a need that you, and with the dude that they're bringing in from Detroit, I just don't know if it's that
He
big
was
of a need
good
to
2
go
years
center.
ago at center.
Yeah,
Evan
Yeah.
Brown was really good at center 2 years ago. Had to play guard last year.
Right.
So I don't see center as that huge of a need. It's guard for me.
I'd rather.
I
go to guard
can't-
myself, but there are good centers coming up.
It's
I'm
just not
terrified
the
of Phil
same.
Haynes.
It's not the same as the Creed Humphrey year. Like, to me, he was the guy at center. The Seahawks had a need at center that year, and they went with D. Eskridge. So
And that was toward the end of the second round too, Brandon.
I know.
That's a whole different thing. Yeah, that was, and he was like,
Well, the fact that he fell that far was incredible.
I thought we were going to take him when it was up too. I was expecting we were picking him at that moment.
So I know that, there's a lot of folks that would like us to go center and go there early. With Evan Brown, I think that they have, I think that there are greater needs.
Receiver's a much more expensive position, and Tyler's got 1 or 2 awesome years left.
He's got 5 awesome years left. Shut your mouth, Phil.
Look, and the thing is that both of you guys could be easily right. Just with the way that Tyler plays and doesn't take hits and things like that. There's a world in which Tyler Lockett is still extremely effective in 4 or 5 years.
How long did Largent play for?
He's 35 or 6, wasn't he? Played 14 years.
Yeah. Back when you could decapitate wide receivers.
What year is Tyler in? Do you know, Brandon? You're 10?
9?
He came in 2014.
That requires math.
Well, he's 2 years less than Russ. Is Russ going into his
9?
12th? Russ going into his 12th?
So he's going into his 10th.
Yeah. He's 2 years behind Russ, whatever. Yeah.
I needed all my fingers for that.
I only have 9, so I couldn't get there.
That's right.
Missing finger jokes are always solid. I love them.
I'm sure you run into a few of those at the sawmills.
Yeah, one of the reasons I'm getting out when I am is that I still have all my digits, and nearly losing 4 out of the 5 on my left hand this year was a motivator.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tough to play.
Oh, here he is.
Oh.
Victory lap Clinton. Victory lap Clinton.
You got him.
Yeah.
Let's go, JSN. Come on. That's
He's
amazing.
got the beer. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Exactly. In a fancy wine glass, too, because when in Napa,
Ooh.
drink
Yeah.
beer in a wine glass, right?
You
So,
pinky out like the Niners fans. Look at you.
oh, yeah. That's it. Pinky out. Dudes, I just walked out of the cave, and I'm like, 42 texts from different people, like including y'all. That is awesome. That what's the vibe? You guys on the same plane I'm on?
Zay Flowers was still on the board, but I was okay with JSN. Adam a little bit. I'd say it's a little bit mixed because there is still that need of stopping the run. The address. Yeah, I know.
Who
You can
needs
find those guys. You can get.
When you
those
score
guys.
17,000 a game, you'll be fine, right?
Yep.
That's a take, right? That's a take. So
Smith versus Richard Sherman.
I love it. How about you, Mr. Phil? How you feeling, dude?
I was really excited. This is the one that a couple picks before I said we'll probably take JSN. I also wanted Michael Mayer, but if JSN was there, I don't see how you pass the top wide receiver when you got the top corner. Tyler's age, we don't have a number 3 receiver. It's one of the most expensive positions on an NFL team. Tough to pass up a guy that is always open. Like if he's out running routes, he's open.
Dude, that's it, man. Like getting open in the NFL, is a skill. That guy's, and like pair that with Gino, the dude who could process, find the open guy, sling it. I love it. This is the A+. So the Witherspoon thing, that's nice. But I think we cranked both to 11 now. So let's figure out the defensive line. But we got picks, right? So what else has been cool? I'm literally in and out. So anything else that's been cool shocks or big news?
Pretty chalk. The draft has gone pretty chalk, except for the quarterbacks dropping. Levis.
Yeah, Levis is having a Rodgers moment.
He's still not picked.
Levis and
No, Vikings pick is in right now, though. This would be I've predicted Levis is going here about 17 times tonight and been wrong every time. So here we go. Vikings pick is in. Will Levis is going here.
The best thing Adam said all night was during our pick. He said Levis is coming to us at 20, and I said yes, thank you.
Yeah, I actually wouldn't. I wouldn't have hated that, but that's I think
Hooker to the Vikings would make more sense than.
We liked it. Adam said Levis because he'd been wrong every time he said Levis is going here. So I was really going to the Hawks because I do not want him.
I don't know. I think Hooker is sitting behind Kirk for a year.
Addison. Yeah.
It's not bad.
Oh, okay.
Who was it?
Another receiver, Jordan Addison out of USC.
Oh, Addison. Okay. I think we got the top receiver. So I was sitting in this dinner, and when I went back inside, it was when the Steelers traded with the Patriots, and I was like, all right, this gauntlet right here. I was like, if we get through, I was telling the table, I'm like, if JSN doesn't get taken by the Pats or this little gaggle, I was like, if he's there, I'm gonna be so friggin' happy. So then I stepped back out, and like I'm still shocked we took him. I'm happy we took him, but I didn't expect it. This is like a gift. I think it's a present. So
I never expected him to make it to 20 when I saw he looked.
Me neither, man.
Yeah,
I agree, Phil. I agree. Well, all right, dudes. Sorry. Yeah, go ahead, Brandon.
I'm just looking at these receivers in terms of their style and swag, and I think JSN has all of them beat.
I don't know what he's wearing, but I will trust. I will trust. I'll trust he looks wonderful. So, but hey, dudes, I got to bounce again. But thanks for letting me crash the party again. And if we trade back into the top of the in this round, let me know. I'll be back.
That's good, man.
All right, dudes. Talk to you later. Bye.
Okay.
Go Hawks. See ya.
I'm probably gonna check out too. I think I told the boys they could use the TV room at 8:00. So.
All right. Well, we apart from us trading back into the top of the back end of the first round, which I think it's safe to assume is not going to happen, but you never know, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
I'm keeping an eye out the rest of the way for sure. But I figured.
All right, give your kids the TV, Phil.
Yeah,
I'll go look on another TV and
be the cool dad.
You guys sticking around for a while?
Yeah, we'll probably wrap that up here pretty soon.
Yeah.
That was super fun, guys. Thanks for letting me jump in.
Thanks, Phil.
Yeah, man.
All right, go Hawks.
Go Hawks.
Ranger Luke coming in with a $4.99 super chat. Great to hang out with you tonight. Thanks, guys. # Save Adam's Fingers Fund.
Appreciate that a ton, man. Because I'm partial. I'm partial to the fingers. I like them.
Raven says, "Are we going to be back tomorrow?"
I don't know.
I don't know about live, but we'll see. We might do something live as far as reaction goes.
I'll tell you what. So it's me and Phil who are like definitely pushing hard to do this tonight. So I'm going to leave this one up to Brandon.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm just excited to see who we're going to get tomorrow. I just don't know if I can sit through all of the picks and give everybody, solid analysis on everybody, but we can always do our best.
We're getting to the edge of my knowledge. That's for sure.
Right.
Not that that's a high bar, but
we focused a lot on the first round, in particular with, just considering who we had, especially at the top and then here at the back end. Nate Shute saying, look, y'all, Murphy, Brzee, Mozzie, Ika, and more all still available with at least one will still be there when we're up in the second. It feels that way, right?
Yeah, it does. It does. And you do get your heart set on certain things. And I know I did. I wanted trenches. It didn't happen. It's going to be okay. And Nate makes great points here. Like there's talent out there to still be had. And the Hawks are in position to go get one. I mean, they could trade up and nab one of those dudes if they feel like it warrants it. So, yeah.
Matthew Crawford with a $2 super chat saying shout out to Josiah and Kinley.
Heck yeah, shout out to Josiah and Kinley for sure. Appreciate the super chat, Matthew.
Okay, well, it looks like the votes are coming in that they want us to come in tomorrow. Post draft live.
Okay.
That could make a lot of sense.
Yeah. I don't know, man.
Raft guy, much rather hear your incoherent ramblings than Brooks and Kuiper.
That's totally fair and appreciated. Thank you. Yeah.
if we're going to get incoherence, why not from a Seahawks fan?
Yeah, exactly. Right. Bumbling nonsense. It might as well be from our noggins, I guess.
Yeah, defensive tackle sliding. Well, especially with this run on wide receivers. Wow.
Yeah.
Do the Giants make it 5 in a row here?
Yeah, maybe. There's a good comment earlier, holy wide receiver run, Batman.
Yes,
I like that. Yeah.
Giants, Jaguars.
Okay, the Ravens calling for it too. Another live stream during the draft.
Oh, yep.
Okay, what time is the second round, second and third round tomorrow?
I think we're same time tomorrow for second and third.
Okay, that might work. That gives me the day to project.
Okay. Yeah, you just make sure your propane heater is working for tomorrow night.
Oh, I've got another propane can. I just didn't bring it in here with me, and I had to rig up everything different, so I can't leave until we're done. Like, I could just sneak out and go get it.
Daughter McKinley 2 today. Shout out to your daughter, Shane.
Yeah. Merry birthday, McKinley. Way to make it to 2.
On the 27th of April. April's a good month.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, you're right. Amy's saying, yeah, it was an hour earlier. So it does start a little bit earlier, but that's fine. It's 5 for us.
Yeah. Yeah. Be a little warmer in here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think I can make that work.
Did we just get talked into this?
We just got talked into hanging out tomorrow. I don't know.
Okay. At least for the
it might take 2 more super chats coming in before we're out of here, before I make up my mind.
That's fair. Since you didn't get your 44s,
That's right. Or my 2020s at pick number 20.
Right. Because if we are doing value for value, right? Like let's see the value just a little bit. Just a little bit.
That's right. Just 2 people.
It could be $1. Yeah.
JFs, I'm sad about this draft. Jay, the draft is not over. It's just 1 round. Just one round, Jay.
Yep. There's plenty of talented players available in the trenches, things like that. But I can understand the feeling. And you're not alone, Jay. But with that said, Pete and John, they've steered us right for the most part. And I think, Jay, you're going to fall in love with Witherspoon when you see him out there on the field. I really do. He's Seahawk all the way.
1 a.m. in Germany. Thanks for hanging with us so late. Amy, $9.99 super chat. There you go.
All right. I appreciate it, Amy. I told you it only had to be $1. You didn't have to go all the way to 10, but
she covered it for 10 people.
There we go. So I guess, does that cover? Oh, yeah.
Nope.
Right. Mark's in. Yeah.
Dolphins in. All right. There we go. We're coming back tomorrow, people.
All right. It's happening. Okay. Does that mean I can go eat chicken dumpling soup now?
Time to go eat. So Thanks for everybody hanging in there. Let's see if the Giants make it 5 in a row with their pick coming in here. No, they go corner. Deontay Banks. So,
okay.
All right. We kicked off that wide receiver run. We hung in there through it together.
We did.
And we'll come back tomorrow. Phil, yes, back tomorrow. You're welcome back in. We'll need your knowledge, Phil. Shoot. You know who I probably should reach out to Josh DeHuman. He's got some good draft knowledge. Maybe we bring in Josh for tomorrow.
He checked in earlier, and I had mentioned that we had wanted to try to get him in, and he said just send him a link, and he thought he might be able to jump in today, but maybe he could jump in tomorrow.
Yeah, all right.
Yeah, Shane hooking us up again. Nice.
Corner slick in with 220 Canadian. There we go. We're back tomorrow.
All right.
Thanks, everybody.
Yeah, you guys earned it by a lot.
Did it.
Garrett, right. It's okay if your food trailer closes at 6, bud. You can just put us on the phone. Just put us on the phone, put one earbud in. You're going to be okay.
All right. Well, fun day of watching the draft with everybody in the chat. Looking forward to hanging out again tomorrow. Thanks to Phil for coming in. Thanks to Clinton for hopping in. And oh, there we go. RJ with the 20 bomb.
Woo! All right. Yeah. You officially have cleansed your Hakra, and the freeloading is now officially over, RJ. Thank you very much.
And I think with that,
there's only one thing left to say.
Go Hawks.
Go Hawks.